place to lock up money. It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Most people don't think about their furnace until it's not working, but we do. At Pipe Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pipe Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome to Bowie Foods at Al's Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm R.F. Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota-owned, family-owned, Bowie Foods.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire
Welcome
of Pierre
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedic, Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, Kruger Contracting, Sensory Business Products, and the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency of American Family Insurance. Governor Sports is also sponsored in part by Hag Services, Dakota Mart, TMA, First Dakota National Bank, May Adam Law Office, Edward Jones, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, Wegner Auto, Graham Tire, and by Xander Auto Parts, American Bank and Trust, Kathy's Sun and Shine Properties, Owyhee Federal Credit Union, the Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center, Tokyo Hibachi and Sushi, Naman Lumber, Birding Electric, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union. And coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is also brought to you by these special in-game sponsors: Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Rounds Financial Services, Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gales Gas Service. And now, Pierre Governor Sports on the official home of the Governors, River 92.7, DRGnews.com.
Well, thank you very much, and a very good Thursday evening, everybody. Here we go, the final night of the regular season. Friday night under the lights on a Thursday night. We're at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. Brian Oakland coming to you with play-by-play. We'll be joined by John Calda in just a little bit, along with Brian Menning, who will be live streaming tonight. You can watch our game upcoming as the Governors take on the Douglas Patriots. Watch it live at drgnews.com on the River 92.7 page or on your DRG News smartphone app. Also available through GoGovs.live, which is available too through the Pierre School website. William Wilson runs technical direction in studio, and once again, the Pierre Governors trying to make their push toward familiar territory. The postseason starts a week from tonight, and they've got a final tune-up here as they host the Douglas Patriots. Governors coming in off of a big come-from-behind win at Spearfish a week ago. Douglas has struggled throughout the season. They are 0-8, and their season will come to an end tonight here in the capital city. But we've got plenty to talk about coming up in our Bank West pregame show, and that's brought to you by Bank West for the best. Of course, conversations with head coach Steve Steele on the way and keys to success. But after this opening 3-minute timeout, we'll take a look around 11AA and do some playoff prognostications, perhaps, and among other things, give you the schedule of events and 11B and 9-man classes starting playoff action tonight. We'll give you the schedule from around central South Dakota there as well. The state of football coming up as we begin our Bank West pregame show in 3 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football, your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
There when you need them the most. Bank West insurance agents Sam Kennecke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio, Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
In Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Oh, there's William Wilson back in studio giving us Halloween music. 'Tis the season, folks, but here we are. Final night of the regular season. Gorgeous night for football in the capital city. Early start, of course, and we still have some sunshine for the time being. It's Brian Oakland joined by John Calda tonight, and we'll talk to the coach here momentarily. But for those who are on the road this time of the year, high school sports or whatever the reason, especially maybe for the holidays coming up, well, it doesn't matter. The occasion, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being a team, and they remind remind us to slow the drive. Arrive alive. Buckle up, too. You've got someplace to be. John Calda coming in. He'll join us tonight. It is senior night. The Governor's seniors are going to be recognized here momentarily in on-field pregame festivities. So we'll congratulate them as we go along as well. John, you weren't able to make the trip and out to Spearfish last week, but I know you saw the game, and appreciate you and everybody watching drgnews.com. When you're thinking, when you're watching that and it's 21-0, A, you're like, what's going on? But B, you're thinking, well, the Governors have been there before. They were down that big in Yankton and came back and made a brand new ball game out of it. And so obviously Pierre was able to do that last week too. And as the football world turned last week, Governors found a new weapon in Jaron Deal, and kind of reminds us of quarterbacks of recent past that can run and throw, and he had all the stats, and my goodness, what a weapon the Governors found last week.
Yeah, I mean, run and throw. I mean, basically just kind of doing it all and coming in the second half and just, flipping a switch and obviously, going through and just kind of putting the team on his back if you want to stay in that second half. And I tell you what, we've been down that road before as far as, down 14, down 21 and so on, and kind of go on the defense side of things. If we can figure out a way to not have to make those adjustments in the second half and make them maybe after the first quarter and so on, we're going to be a pretty dangerous team come here in the playoffs.
Obviously, you don't want to be down. You don't want to get in that kind of a hole, because obviously in Yankton earlier this year, that was still too big of a hole to come out with a victory. But I think a lot of teams now, as we get 1 week away from the postseason, suddenly the rest of 11 AA has got to raise their eyebrows and say again, here come the Governors. They're still there.
Yeah, when you start looking at it, like most of these teams, they've built up tendencies. They built up, just those things that they're going to be doing, and for them, they probably showed their cards throughout the course of the year, and you kind of again know the ins and outs of what every team's going to do. And now all of a sudden, we've just opened a brand new door to what the Governors can do. And obviously losing Merrill last week, but putting a quarterback or back there that has a dual threat and the ability to run and pass. And like I said, he can also decide to run and pass at the same time. And I think it's just gonna be tough for those other teams to really drop a scheme to shut us down.
Coach fans alluded to Carter Merrill, who did break an ankle. To put it mildly, it was a little more severe than that last week on a tackle in the toward the end of the first quarter. So the Governors are without their top running back for the rest of the season, along with starting left tackle Tucker Ott, who also broke a bone in his lower leg on the very same play. It was kind of a freak occurrence, and they weren't in the same area when that happened. So strange how things went. The Governors had a couple of other bumps and bruises that will keep some other starters out of this game tonight. We'll give you the starting lineups in just a little bit. It is senior night, though. Carter has been wheeled out on the side-by-side here. He is in the middle of the field waiting to be recognized on senior night here with the rest of his senior class members. So a special moment here, and I was actually right there with his dad, Ben, when he asked if they could use the cart, and Ben said he literally just got out of surgery. So surgery on that right ankle from earlier today, and hopefully everything goes well in rehab. But obviously the Governors will be shorthanded in the starting lineup for the rest of this season. Here's what's happening tonight, by the way, and after last week's action, you still have Huron with just one loss on the season, which actually came to Yankton in week 1. They're 7-1. Yankton is 6-2, and the Governors are 5-3. So is T-Area, but Pierre has the PowerPoint average advantage, and they're a solid number 3 right now. T-Area, a couple of, a 1.5 power average behind Pierre. Watertown with a win last week has moved up to 4-4, and they are now in the 5 spot. Watertown started 1-3, but here they are 4 out of 5 wins over the last 5 games. Spearfish, after their loss to the Govs, falls to number 6. Sturgis at 7, along with Brookings. Both of those teams are 4-4. Aberdeen, it's 2-6. Mitchell Mitchell 1-7, Douglas coming in 0-8, and my hunch is, well, Mitchell and Douglas will not make the postseason. Aberdeen has a chance, but they'll have to beat Watertown tonight if they want to get up into the top 8. If the postseason were to start tonight, it would be Brookings number 8 at number 1 Huron. Sturgis, the 7 seed, would go to number 2 Yankton, and the Governors, who played Spearfish last week, would actually host the Spearfish Spartans next week, or if the postseason were to start tonight. That's how it went last year. The Governors became the 4 seed and hosted number 5 Spearfish. The 4 seed T area would host Watertown, in fact, if the postseason were tonight. But things can change. Here's the schedule. Douglas at Pierre. Obviously, Pierre will be a heavy favorite in this game. You've got Huron going to Brookings. Tough place to play, and, that could be an upset. We'll see how that goes. Yankton has a heavily favored matchup when they go to Mitchell this evening. Spearfish at Sturgis, and as always, anything can happen in that Northern Hills rivalry. And you've got an interesting game also in Aberdeen, with the Golden Eagles host the Watertown Arrows. T-Area has the AAA matchup tonight. They are at Sioux Falls, Washington, in a game that kicked off at 5 o'clock at Howard Wood Field. And that's going to be a tough game for the Titans as they sit at number 4. We'll see if they can pull out a victory. We'll get you an updated score on that a little bit later on. But Spearfish and Sturgis, you probably expect Spearfish to come out on top, but that game is in Sturgis, and they obviously play well on their own field. And again, Watertown and Aberdeen could shake things up if Aberdeen pulls an upset there. Once again, further looks at that a little bit later on, and by the time our game comes to an end, maybe we'll have an idea of who the Governors will be playing at the very least next week. But again, that's all waiting to be determined. That's a look at the state of football, Class 11 AA in particular. Let's take a 3-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get into our keys to success with head coach Steve Steele. Keys to Success brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications, as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2, and punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School Sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Time for the keys to success. Final week of the regular season. Coach Steve Steele to talk about another great win for the Govs last week over the Spearfish Spartans, even though come from behind. Coach, the first thing first, though, bottom line is no matter what the score is, the Pierre Governors are never down, never out. Second time you've been down 21-0 this season. You come back and make it a new ball game, and this time you just kind of were able to keep the foot on the pedal and take it all the way to a big win over Spearfish.
Yeah, certainly a habit we don't want to continue on. But yeah, I mean, I was very proud of the resilience of our guys and really just the next man up mentality. We had a lot of guys that they finally got their moment. Some of them planned, some of them unplanned, and they went out there and shined and excelled in that moment. So very proud to see that.
Next man up is kind of a sports cliche, but it comes true to life so many times, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, you saw in the one play, it was next man up.
Right.
Losing two guys in one play. And that, it's a tough emotional roller coaster of a game, of a day. Anytime you see seniors' careers come to an end, it's a hard moment for obviously for them, but for a lot of their teammates that are hurting alongside of them. So it was a tough, challenging day for a lot of those reasons, but very proud of the effort of those kids that stepped in and did well.
Yeah. So again, Carter Merrill, Tucker Ott, both out on that same play, both done for the season, as you've told me off the mic. But I guess in what's to come now, we've got the Douglas Patriots here, obviously a struggling team, but you can afford to put other players in and take their places and kind of get a little more acclimated now as you get ready for the postseason.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of this week was really moving people around, kind of trying different combinations, trying some people in different places, just to find the new best fit. We felt good about where our fit was going into Spearfish last week, and then obviously with the injuries and things, you shift things around, you try and find the new best fit. So I think that'll be a big part of tonight, is trying to figure out what the best fit is ultimately before we go into the postseason here.
Yeah, speaking of people in new places, I mean, he plays JV quarterback, but Jaron Deal steps in, and to me, I thought it looked like a matchup problem issue. I mean, it looked like Caleb Lounsbury was just having some struggles against some speedy team defense of Spearfish, but Jaron Deal steps in, and even against the varsity squad, he just looked like he belonged right in that quarterback spot.
He did, and you can't say enough about someone being ready for their moment. He's obviously started the whole season at wide receiver for us, but just a different level, of preparation has to go into being a quarterback, and it shows that you weren't slacking, as the backup in that role. He understood what we needed to do, and I was limited package when we went to Jaron there, but everything that he did very well, and I'd say Caleb did just as well in his role out at receiver. Didn't necessarily make the stat sheet in that sense, but I mean he blocked exceptionally well. He ran great routes, and I think they both did well, kind of trading spots for the rest of the game.
Well, and there's another way to look at next man up too. Caleb Lounsbury became a good teammate, and when called upon.
Yeah, and like I said, that's kind of been the theme of things. Is I think we have a lot more variety this year than maybe any other year we've had, where I think you've seen, we've always got our creative wrinkles and stuff that go in, but I think we are truly, we could do just about anything. We could move people just about anywhere, and we'd find a way to be okay this year. We've got a lot of really good athletes that can do a lot of different things, and this was probably a little bit overdue to just see the variance of those two guys and being able to play different spots.
And let's have some fun with a question. Is Jaron Deal more like a Garrett Stout runner-thrower, or is he like a Lincoln Keenholz runner-thrower? The way he played for one game.
Yeah, for one game, he ran exceptionally well. His running style is definitely more of a Lincoln running style. Garrett was a fullback at quarterback with a lot of speed. His throwing style right now was probably a little bit more towards Garrett's. But the most important thing is he's Jaron Deal. And that was kind of our message to him when we put him in and made that switch, is that, hey, we don't need you to be anyone other than Jaron, and he was.
Is that a surprise at all, or have you seen that in the JV season this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of it is he's a very different quarterback than Caleb. Obviously you could say that he played better, but it was just they're different people. Caleb's every bit a pocket passer, if you were to put a label on him, and Jaron is every bit an improviser and, a dual threat in that sense. I think that, he was ready to go, but, he was ready to go and execute his package.
All right, so with the Douglas Patriots here and a team that still doesn't have a win, they're not going to make the playoffs. It's kind of the same it's been for the last few years, last game of the season. And if you have to play this game, I guess it's a good time to just, like we said, get other people going and just prepare for the postseason here.
Yep, the preparation for the postseason is the most important part here. We got to come away with the win. We got to get our work in, but you're going to see a lot of different pieces moving around. Again, trying to find the new best puzzle. That's kind of been our philosophy for the week. Is we've had puzzle pieces taken out. We've had to move puzzle pieces around. We just got to find what the next best picture looks like.
Douglas has been capable of making a big play or two the last few times you've seen them. I mean, they're getting their touchdowns. Obviously, they're giving up an awful lot. But what have you seen from them in a positive note this year?
Yeah, I think the thing that you see is they still play with tremendous effort. They play hard. It's a hard thing to do when you have a hard season. But they're doing a good job of that. And they don't have a lot of communication issues. They're pretty simple in what they do. But they're in the right spot, or they're in the spot they're supposed to be. So there's not a lot of things that you would maybe see or expect in situations where it's a tough season.
All right, Coach, get out there, get it done, stay healthy, and we'll see you after the show, all right?
Thanks.
Steve Steele, our governor, head coach. His keys to success are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Let's hear from them and also from Envirotech. Your starting lineups are coming up. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
That's Envirotech, and they sponsor our starting lineups here in our Bank West pregame show. Let's meet the Pierre Governors because there is a new look this week. So in some spots, and now Jaron Deal is the starting quarterback for the time being. I'm not going to say it's a done deal that Caleb Lounsbury is out of the quarterback spot, but Jaron, and there's a reason that Lounsbury is playing wide receiver again tonight. He actually was injured a little bit trying to make a tackle off of a pick six that Spearfish had a week ago. So that's one reason he moved out to the wideout spot. But Deal is the quarterback, the sophomore 160-pounder. Of course, with the loss of Carter Merrill, Kia Duchino is back into the backfield as the H-back. He's a senior at 175. Carter Shufflebine, the junior wideout, still the one to watch. Lincoln Dilgis is a senior, still playing wideout. Caleb Lounsbury, the senior, is a wide receiver, and maybe we'll get some opportunities to see Caleb catch some balls tonight as well. Hudson Stoser, we'll still see him running routes as well, the junior for the Govs, and the junior tight end Cooper Terwilliger continues to make big plays. The offensive line is a bit different as well. Colton Cass, the senior 200-pounder on the end. Actually, the new center is Gage Stenson, a 250-pound junior, taking the place of the banged-up Bryson Wallman. Wallman, I think, should be back next week. The guards are Max Schmitz and Max Bogenhagen, junior and a senior, respectively. Colton Cass, the tackle, the senior. Now Spencer Olivier takes the place of the injured Tucker Ott. Olivier is a 200-pound junior. That's the offense for the Governors. Defense still mostly the same. Devin Binger, the junior nose tackle, playing in place of Lathan Rounds, who is still injured. Bogenhagen and Schmitz are the defensive tackles. Outside linebackers are seniors Hudson Schaefer and Lincoln Schoenhard. Sam Larson, a junior. Will Eilers, a sophomore. The middle linebackers for Pierre. In the defensive backfield, consists of Logan Whitty, the junior, and Aiden Beam, the senior, run the corners. And what a game for Aiden Beam once again last week in the win over Spearfish. Porter Hunsley, who had a great game 2 weeks ago in the win over Sturgis. He is a sophomore strong safety. Sutton Sonnenschein, who had a pick and a big one last week, a junior free safety for the Governors. And their head coach, Steve Steele, who was assisted by defensive coordinator, former Douglas head coach Dan Machachok, Scott Nye, Jeff Hagee, Adam Spoor, Josh Schleisner, Jeff Schleckaway, Duncan Trow, the coaching staff for the Pierre Governors. Starting lineups for the Douglas Patriots, brought to you by Envirotech. Their quarterback is Jack Coper. He's a 150-pound junior. Peyton Sandel, a good athlete, a 170-pound senior, is the featured tailback in the backfield. Wideouts, they've got 4 of them in the starting lineup, including Josh Smith, a senior, Brody Slankauskas, a junior, also Owen Moninger, a senior, and Alex Richters, a junior, going out wide. No tight end on the offensive line, but the center is a senior 300-pounder, Lucas Johnson. Guards are Thayan Rath, a sophomore, and Bentley Fotts, a sophomore as well. Siler Merrill, a sophomore left tackle, and Ethan Hastings, a junior on the right side. Young offensive line, 1 senior, 1 junior, and 3 sophomores for the Douglas Patriots. It's been a difficult go, obviously. Defensive tackles are Ethan Hastings and also Eli Christensen, a junior. As we look on the defensive side, senior defensive ends in Jackson Montalvo and Josh Guadino. And then the linebackers are Carson Hicks, a senior, Peyton Sandel, who will start both ways, and Cale Allen, a junior linebacker. Hunter Frericks is a junior on the corner, along with Alec Richters, and Brody Slankauskas and Jack Coper are the safeties for the Douglas Patriots. They're coached by George Johnson, running the show for the first year in that Douglas program. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre, as the coin toss is being enacted at the middle of Hollister Field. Let's hear from actually our other starting lineup is the game officials, and our game officials are the law on the field tonight. The Aberdeen crew, consisting of referee Marty Wisemantle, along with Scott Whitlock, Ryan Sanis, Josh Steinwant, and Mark Ulrich. Those are our game officials, and we thank them for being our law on the field. They're brought to you by the Attorney General's Office of South Dakota. Let's hear from them and Comtech, and we kick this thing off to close out the regular season. Coming back with Governor Football, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986. Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security, and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. When you're distracted, who's driving?
Good Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome to Phil Trotner Stadium at Hollister Field. We are ready for our Comtech opening kick. The Douglas Patriots will kick off to the Pierre Governors right to left, and on 3 hops, it's taken by Carter Shufflebine at the Pierre 12-yard line. Coming up, he slips a couple of tackles, still on his feet, now to the 30, to the 35, and brought down at about the 37-yard line. A patient run on the return for Carter Shufflebine, and the Pierre Governors will start as they elected to receive after the results of that coin toss just a moment ago. Brian Oakland along with John Calda. Governors 5-3 taking on the 0-8 Douglas Patriots. The regular season comes to an end. The postseason starts 1 week from tonight. And again, the opening kickoff brought to you by Comtech, your communication and electronics sales and service center on the lower truck bypass in Pierre. So here's Jaron Deal as the fans get an opportunity right off the bat, and it's a quick reverse, and Carter Shufflebein coming near side. Has the 40 to the 50. There's a block on the near side. Shufflebein cuts back at the 40 on the Douglas side. Eluding tackles all over the field. Another big block by Ducheneau. 30 to the 20, and Shufflebein will be tripped up into the red zone. The Governors come out with a little razzle-dazzle. The first time we've seen double reverse on the season. And it looks like 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Shufflebein with a rushing attempt. And right off the bat, the Governors get a right on the money highlight play. Listen for highlight plays throughout the evening. Sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre. Right on the money. Where your money works for you. Rounds Financial Services. Mosaic Wealth member, SIPC. So the Governors have it as Caleb Lounsbury in at quarterback, and they'll hand off to Kea Ducheneau. Ducheneau cuts back inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, picks up 11 yards, and Lounsbury, I wondered if he might play some quarterback, but there was some talk from Coach Steele yesterday, perhaps, about an injury that he had to his throwing hand or perhaps even to his arm, so things look good there. The Governors are 1st and goal at the 4. It's still Lounsbury to Ducheneau. Kea making a sidestep. He falls with a ball on the goal line, but his knee is down shy of that. So Pierre will have it down to the 1-yard line. And John Calda, we haven't had time to bring him in yet, but so far, the Governors expected to make big plays, and they've been making it. We'll see if they can get one more here. First minute and a half has gone by. Phil Troutner Stadium, Hollister Field. Handoff one more time to Ducheneau. Straight up the gut, and it's a touchdown on the 4th play of the opening drive for the Pierre Governors. Touchdown, senior Kea Ducheneau. And Pierre, with 10:20 to go, strikes first in a 6-0 lead. And again, Coach Calda just expect big plays. Didn't really expect the razzle-dazzle, but it's, people like to see Carter Shufflebein getting some running in. And, he made some great things happen there, and a good start for the Governors here. As Templeton's kick is up. That is just inside the left upright. So Pierre has a 7-0 lead. Let's take a 30-second break. They'll kick when we come back. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Premier Hometown Shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Buying, go back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Here we are back at Hollister Field. The Governors' opening drive goes 4 plays, 63 yards. The first play was a 57-yard run for, not 57, should be 47-yard run for Carter Shufflebein. That set the Governors up in the red zone. Kea Ducheneau with 3 rushing attempts later, and he gets a 1-yard plunge. Good for 6. Carter Templeton's PAT is good. 10:20 to go, first quarter. And the Governors are out to a 7-0 lead. And if you missed it last week, the Governors have a new kickoff kicker, fresh off the soccer team. This is Jacoby LaRush, and he'll work on some things in placement, and the Governors are going to fall on it. Actually run right to it at the 30-yard line. Douglas did not make a play on it. They probably should have caught it. I think the closest to it was Peyton Sandel, perhaps Owen Moninger as well, but Pierre has the kickoff recovered. It's a free ball on a kickoff. So Pierre has it at the 30-yard line. And John Calda, in this case, it's just a matter of knowing the situation. And obviously the Governor's a little more advanced in that department here.
Yeah, just probably a little bit of an experience with Douglas. Again, we kind of looking at their season. I think they're just trying to figure some stuff out. Maybe, again, kind of looking at building for next year, playing some young guys, and probably be a mistake that won't happen again.
So it is Jaron Deal now getting the second series. He'll roll out short side and near side, and this one through the hands of the intended receiver, Cooper Terwilliger. This pass will fall incomplete as Caleb Lounsbury did play the quarterback spot, but he did not throw the football on those opening 4 plays. Again, a long reverse. Carter Schuffelbein was able to pick up big yardage from. Kay Adushino, 3 carries and an eventual touchdown. And then again, here is the Governors recover the free ball on the kickoff, and that's all about placement, and that's what Coach Steele and company will try to do tonight. Fake the jet sweep. Jaron Deal has running room. 25-20, slips out of a tackle near sideline. 15-10 to the pylon, and touchdown, Jaron Deal. I thought he got in there, just had to make it official. As Jaron Deal shows what he was able to do, capable of doing a week ago in Spearfish, starts his night with a 30-yard touchdown run. And right away, Calda, you see Jaron Deal, he's a tough guy to bring. He's only 160, but it's tough to bring him down. Slippery runner.
Yeah, I mean, speed obviously is there, quickness is there, but just his low center of balance, just gravity, just everything he's got with him. It's just tough to with one tackler to bring him down. They these teams that are going to be going up against the next couple weeks, they got to bring 2 or 3 guys on him. But that's going to be the tough part again, because we're looking at last week. It's like, well, if you start giving up on your receivers and start throwing more in the box, then obviously that's going to open up that passing game, which we know he can throw a pretty ball as well. So
2 minutes in, the Governors with a PAT from Templeton lead 14-0. Already another 30-second timeout. They'll kick again when we come back with more Pierre Governor football.
Home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Lucky for us.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, 10:04 left in the first quarter. Governors got a first drive touchdown. And on the ensuing kickoff, Douglas did not recover it. Pierre did. And here comes another one of those placement opportunities, this time from Jacoby LaRush. It was Owen Moninger who was actually signaling for a fair catch, but he never got to it. The ball does go out of bounds, however, and Douglas, if they so choose, will have the football here at the 35-yard line. They're getting their offense out there. This will be Douglas's first offensive possession as the Governors lead 14-0. Early score in the one game that started at 5 o'clock, T area playing at Sioux Falls, Washington. That at Howard Wood Field, the first of 2 at the Wood tonight. And that had Washington up 20-7 on top of the T area Titans. So this was actually a short enough kick where the Patriots are going to get the football on their own 38-yard line at the spot where the ball went out of bounds. So we'll get a chance to see Douglas in red, white, and blue tonight. Their first offensive possession, Max Schmitz gets through. Peyton Sandel takes the handoff. Patriots try to push it up the middle, but nowhere to go for Sandel. And this will be a loss of 4 back inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Obviously, it's been tough going for Douglas. They've had good teams in the past. You go back to the Dan Magic Man Machachok years, and one year Douglas had a fine 6-3 season, only to see the Governors come out and beat them and move on into the postseason. That was about 10 or 11 years ago now, but they still have athletes, but they just have not been able to play consistently enough. Here's a fake of a handoff. Nice play this time. Looks like Patriots will get back to the original line of scrimmage. Bigger running back this time as Sandel came out, and they bring in the 200-pounder Carson Hicks. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, gain the 4. That Sandel loss. Lincoln Schoenhardt leading the charge here. It'll be 3rd down and 10 here for Douglas. Douglas is in road white tonight. They've got navy blue numbers, navy pants with red stripes down the side, white helmets, and the red stripes up the middle as well. Governors choosing green on green for the color scheme tonight. Green jerseys, green pants, green helmets, a whole lot of green here at Hollister tonight. 3rd and 10. Douglas quarterback Jack Coper with 4 wides, 2 both ways. Looking to throw the football. He'll roll out, buying a little time. Fires, but this one overthrows his intended receiver, looking for Alex Richters out on the far side. And the Pierre defense does the job and induces a 3-and-out, and Douglas will kick. And this is what you expect, John Calda. Just come out and make your plays, but, complacency is always an enemy of a Governor athlete, and once you relax, that's when things start going bad in the way of, perhaps inducing injuries, and I think that's the biggest thing that the Governors have to fend off tonight. Here's a punt coming in. That takes a while. It's blocked and recovered by Aiden Beam. He picks it up at the 20-yard line and goes into the end zone for a special teams touchdown. Aiden Beam, playmaker for the Governors. And the Governors tack on their 3rd touchdown on a blocked punt return. We haven't seen one of those in a long, long time. The Governors lead 20-0.
Yeah, great job by Porter Hunsley coming in there and getting the block and setting that up for Beam. It's just, again, when things are rolling, things are kind of rolling for you. And just kind of looks like it's going to be that way for the Governors. And, obviously on the other side, it's just going to be that way for Douglas tonight.
The punter, Caden Wrights, I don't think it took him an overly long time to get in his punt formation or get into his motion, but that defensive line of the Governors just burst right on through. The block punt by Porter Hunsley, the pickup by Aiden Beam, the 20-yard or so return, and the Carter Templeton PAT is up and good. And with 8:18 left in the first quarter, the Governors out to a 21-0 lead. Another 30-second break, and we're back with another Pierre kick when we return. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit.
Back at Phil Trotner Stadium at Hollister Field, and you get a block punt return for a touchdown. It's plays like that are right on the money for the Pierre Governors. Right on the money plays, highlight plays are sponsored in our broadcast by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. 3-and-out for Douglas on their first offensive possession after already trailing 14-0. And the punt was blocked by Porter Hunsley. Picked up at the 20 and returned for a touchdown by Aiden Beam. I'll tell you what, John Calda, looking back on that play, there was about 5 or 6 Governors who wanted to get in there and pick that ball up and return it.
Yeah, plenty of hands there for, again, just being in the right place at the right time, and a good block by Hunsley.
Here's Peyton Sandel. He takes the short kick by Jacoby LaRush at the 25-yard line. Beam and company will push him out of bounds up to the 30. Actually, the catch made at the 25, and they'll spot Sandel at the 29-yard line. You see what the Govs are doing on their kickoffs too, coaches. It's all about placement right now. They want to get high end-over-end kicks. They want that special teams unit to come barreling in, and that's how you start to own the field position.
Yeah, I mean, when you've looked at what we've been able to accomplish on the kickoffs here in the past, and even on kick returns, I mean, special teams obviously is a big part of this, but placement is key when you're kicking.
Sam Larson busts through the D-line this time on the handoff from Coper to Sandel. Peyton Sandel will be driven back in the wrong direction for the second time, a loss of 3. As Douglas will have it at their 31-yard line, actually just across the 30. We'll call it the 31. It's been like this for much of the season. 8 games played. Douglas has scored 4 touchdowns. I imagine, well, 1 in each of 4 games, including last week in a loss to the Brookings Bobcats. But that score 59-8. He'll try Sandel again. He'll get to the line of scrimmage, but again, the Governor's doing a good job, and they will wrap him up low. Logan Hagen is there up high as well. And this one a loss of a yard back to the 30-yard line.
And Coach Magic really not doing anything special right now, and I don't think he's going to have to pretty much all night. Just kind of letting the defense just read their keys and just doing what they need to do. And, tack before that, we get Schoenhardt in there and just, linebackers again reading that, that pass run kind of situations and, really no reason to drop anything special in this situation.
4 wide again for Coper as they will see if they can get something going in the passing game across his body, but the pass is picked off by Lincoln Schoenhardt at the 35-yard line. He'll bring it near side, inside the 20, brought down at the 18-yard line. Good job in the tackle by Thane Rath of the Patriots, but the Governors will turn over the Patriots in a more conventional fashion here, and they've got another short field to work on with 18 to go. The interception by the linebacker, Lincoln Schoenhardt.
Yeah, good read by him. Just, again, we had rushing 3 guys and putting a little pressure on the quarterback and just sitting back in the, middle of the field, just reading his eyes. He was locked on to one receiver for the most part there and just able to come in with a nice little pick and a couple yards afterwards, too.
Governors leading 21-0. Here's Jaron Deal to Caleb Lounsbury. First reception as a wide receiver brought down by Carson Hicks at the 15-yard line. Simple play. It's only 3 yards, but obviously if you've got to force Caleb Lounsbury to play a different position now, it's a good way to get him acclimated on an easy pitch and catch here.
Yeah, and I think this is where Coach Steele kind of works his magic in. We got senior night tonight, last game for for a lot of these, not last game, excuse me, last regular season game, and I think he's going to do everything possible to get them involved.
Shufflebine here as he takes the catch. He'll make the move inside the 10, and he gets his way into the end zone, brought down past the goal line. Touchdown, Governors. Carter Shufflebine from 15 yards out, and it's 27-0, just past the halfway point of quarter number 1. And the Governors making plays all over the field. And again, this isn't unexpected, but Governors just doing what they really have to do to come in here and tune up for the postseason. Out of the hold of Jaron Deal, who has taken the place of Lounsbury in that department. Carter Templeton's PAT makes him 4 for 4. Now 28-0, and another 30-second break as we will be back. 5:55 to go here in the first quarter. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Well, plenty happening so far for the Governors, who had the opening kickoff. They had a 4-play drive spurred by a 47-yard reverse run for Carter Shufflebine. Kia Duchesneau, a 1-yard run. The Patriots did not cover up the ensuing kickoff. The Governors did. They get a 30-yard touchdown run from quarterback Jaron Deal. And then Aiden Beam with a blocked punt return of 20 yards to make it 21-0. And after on the next possession for Douglas, an interception by Lincoln Schoenhardt leads to a two-play drive for the Governors and a 15-yard screen pass caught by Carter Shufflebine, who runs his way in for 6. Here's a nice return for the Patriots coming up on the run and making the catch. Cale Allen, he runs far side up the sideline across the 35, pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So the Patriots with decent field position here.
Yeah, good kick there by Templeton. I think he, got good height out of that ball, just probably a little bit shorter than what he wanted, and watched Porter Hunsley, going up the field and had kind of a nice little opportunity for a one-on-one tackle. But I think he actually beat the ball to the spot and just kind of felt a little nervous on making that initial contact. But yeah, it was definitely there to make a play and probably stop that, with minimal yardage.
So a few kickoffs designed for placement to try to get field position. This time they kick deep, and Douglas is able to get a decent return. 1st and 10, Jack Coper under center. They'll fake to the right and pitch back to the left. Nice move by Peyton Sandel in the backfield, but then he'll run in to another wall of Governors as there is Schoenhardt. There is plenty of other Governor activity. Sutton Sonnenschein, in fact, coming away from the pile last. Yes, he read that one well. Will Eilers gets his name called, and Peyton Sandel will pick up a couple up to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Schoenhardt, we haven't really said his name a lot this year. I mean, we've brought him up over and over again, but it just seems like, there's a guy that needs some recognition. And on that, he was almost kind of playing more of an outside, end in that case on defense, and it made the actual running back cut back and back into the middle of the field for the rest of those guys to make a tackle. It was just a really good play for him.
High formation here for the Patriots. Pitch it back. Sandel again cuts back, and he slips through the line of scrimmage and then gets hit hard shy of the 45 by Porter Hunsley. That's where they'll spot him, right at the 45. Nice little 6-yard giddy up here for Peyton Sandel on his 5th carry of the night. He lost 8 on his first 3, but he's picked up 8 on his last 2. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2 for the Douglas Patriots. Maybe a different look, too, for the Govs. I know they're going to be trying. They're going to have the luxury of trying different things, and you don't necessarily see, edge rushers like Lincoln Schoenhardt lining up and looking like he's ready to come at it as soon as the ball is snapped. So much as the Governors will stand up the ball carrier this time. Fullback attempt on 3rd and 2, Carson Hicks, who picked up 4 on his first carry, will get nothing on this one. Maybe a yard at best. It'll be 4th down and 1. We'll call it to the 46. Douglas trailing 28-0. Nothing to lose. They'll keep their offense out there and see if they can pick up a yard to move the chains. Actually, probably need more like a yard and a half. They have Hicks at the fullback spot. Sandel is the deep back. Governors stacking the box. Fake it to the fullback. Pitch it to Sandel. He's got a 1st down on the far side up the numbers. He gets to the 50 and maybe just across into Pierre territory. In fact, they'll give him the Governor 49-yard line. 1st down, Douglas on a 5-yard gallop here for Peyton Sandel. You get to the point, Coach, too, where, it's human nature to root for the underdog. It's you like to see good things by a struggling team. And, they've got the seniors, but they are very young, as we mentioned in the starting lineups on the offensive line. So you just want to see kids executing and kind of picking things up as they go along. Obviously, the Governors want to pitch a shutout here tonight, but they'll go with Hicks out of a twin backfield, and Carson with a couple to about the 47-yard line.
And I only laugh because I was thinking the exact same thing you were at that point in time. It's just how to appropriately, say that on the air, being part of the Governor fan base. So, yeah, you said it right.
Yeah, I'm a Minnesota Twins fan. I always root for the underdog,
Yeah, you just want to see
Brian Menning over there on camera, San Diego Charger fan. He's rooting for his team tonight. They're about as good as the team they're playing, the Minnesota Vikings. 2nd and 8 into Pierre territory at the 47. Douglas will keep it on the ground as Peyton Sandel counters out to the right side. Was ready to go across the right side of the line, but he bounces it out into the alley out to the numbers. Picks up another yard before Sam Larson runs him down to the 46-yard line. And now for Douglas on 3rd and long. This is probably here where it gets a little more difficult as the Governors. Defense obviously playing well. Special teams is playing well so far. Here on top 28-0. Douglas running clock here, though, as we're at the 150 mark of the first quarter. 28-0 Governors. By the way, we did mention Chargers-Vikings. NFL football is on KPLO and KMLO tonight. We do have high school playoff football on both of those stations on the websites, the web pages of drgnews.com for KPLO, KMLO on both of those stations. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Douglas is going to take a timeout here. First charged in the first half with the 3rd and 7 coming up from the Pierre 46-yard line. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Timeouts in the broadcast brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling. So grab a Coke. It's a nice night. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
Check out Iverson Auto.
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field, Brian Oakland, John Calda on the call. The Governors cruising to a 28-0 lead, and they'll try to hold Douglas here on third down at about 7. And again, we've got playoff football on the air on KGFX. Sully Buttes hosting the Hitchcock Tulare Patriots. That game on 1060 AM, 103.1 FM, KGFX. 3rd and 7, they go with a fullback. Carson Hicks takes the handoff. They fake the pitch out to the right to try to get some Governor defenders going in that direction, but Hicks comes right up the middle of the field. He's inside the Pierre 45, stopped at the 42 for a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down and 3 more to go still for the Douglas Patriots.
I like the changeup. I mean, obviously they're keeping the ball out of our hands right now, but just, kind of quick little hitters, not really giving, our speed opportunity to do what it does on the edges and so on. And, our rushers to do their job, just getting the ball to the running back and letting him hit the hole hard.
Under center, 4th down and 3 as the Patriots go for it. They pitch it out. Sandley hesitated, and now he's got some drive in the legs. He's inside the 40. He might be. They give him the first down to the 38-yard line. What a drive here by Payton Sandel. And he gets the 4 yards he needs on the 8th play of this drive. It's all on the ground for the Patriots, as Payton Sandel will pick up the Patriots' second first down of this drive. Coach, we love our wrestlers on the football field. Payton Sandel is a Douglas Patriot wrestler, and you kind of saw his athleticism on that play.
Yeah, mental toughness. We'll go that route too. Just again, fighting for those extra yards.
1st and 10, far hash mark. The Patriots in road white tonight. They'll stay with Carson Hicks this time. Bobbled the pitch, but then collects it. Will Eilers giving chase, and the Governors will get some help from Max Schmitz down there. Sutton Sonnenschein will be last helped up. Another 2 yards here for Carson Hicks. And we've got an official's play stoppage. May have it. Actually, it's the end of the first quarter of play. Douglas doing good things here. They've got it at the 36-yard line. We'll switch directions and take a 60-second timeout, but it's all Pierre in the first quarter on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Governors 28 and Douglas nothing. Back in a minute for quarter number 2. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Huron for great deals and top-notch service. Iverson Auto has it all. From the knowledgeable sales and finance teams to the experienced parts and service teams, plus the best detail shop in the region. Iverson Auto, 77 plus years in our community, locally owned and operated. We have always been here and always will be. Stop in for your next new or used ride or use one of our professional services at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron, or browse our inventory online anytime at iversonauto.com.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal.
Welcome back to Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field as the Patriots on 2nd down and 8 try to throw the football, but Max Schmitz breaks through and will bring down quarterback Jack Coper back outside the 40 to the 42. It's a loss of 6, the first sack of the quarterback tonight. And it'll be 3rd and 14. Brian Oakland along with John Calda, Brian Menning on camera for live ticket. Watch this game at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page. William Wilson running our show with technical direction in studio.
Throw here, and it'll be another interception, this time for the Governors at the 28-yard line, coming far side up the numbers. And this one is picked off by Sutton Sonnenschein, who has his second interception in as many weeks. Sonnenschein right on the money with a highlight play. Rounds Financial Services is right on the money with highlight plays where your money works for you. Good drive, but on the 11th play, an interception thrown by the Patriots as the Governors will take over once again. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line, just underway in the second quarter of play with 11:08 to go. Pierre on top, 28-0. Pitch back, it's Lounsbury at quarterback. He'll pitch to Cayadushino. Good pursuit here by Sandel, playing linebacker on defense as he gets out to the near side and brings Cayadushino down for a loss of a yard back to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, good athleticism there by number 22. Just good speed, good mental awareness there again, and just getting outside and one-on-one tackle.
28-0 Governors. Obviously, big plays have been a big part of this first half of play, both offense, defense, and if you include special teams as well. Duchesneau will try again. Still can't get away from Peyton Sandel. He'll get the yard back to the 39, but that's about it. And again, you still have starters out there, but keep in mind the Governors have two different starting offensive linemen. And now we see, again, center Gage Stinson is one of them. Also Spencer Olivier. Lounsbury not going to throw. He's going to redirect, and the pitch is to Duchesneau. This is a pitch pass with the left hand. Duchesneau gets into Douglas territory finally. Run down by Alex Richter. That was a good play. Very good look, and something we see the Governors starting to do some things that they haven't done, and just, you've got to practice these plays from 138 to another. This play covers 24 yards.
Yeah, you just open that playbook up a little bit, and just, again, for teams we're going to see in the future, it's just one more thing that, they got to key on. Just great little misdirection play there.
And again, that was a pitch forward by Lounsbury to Duchesneau. It'll go for 24 yards. Another pitch, or another snap, and here's an opportunity for Will Danberg to run the football. Will, number 5, a 160-pound junior, listed as a wide receiver, but again, senior night. Give your seniors some opportunities to make some plays. Danberg will have it to the 36. And that'll be a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 for the Govs. Lounsbury running this drive once again. And again, I'm not sure about his throwing ability. Danberg going to run again. He'll run right side. Inside the 30, find his way, or inside the 35, he'll find his way to the 30-yard line before being pushed back. Coach Will Danberg, he's just, he's one of these guys who does everything he needs to in practice, but we haven't called his name because he hasn't been on the varsity field quite so much this season, but he's ready to make a play whenever he's needed to.
Yeah, showed some good skills right there. Just kind of sitting back and patience, reading the defense, letting his linemen, just kind of open up those holes for him and getting positive yardage.
3rd down and 2.5. Danberg checks out to go back to Duchesneau. He's got the first down, 25 to the 20, and then Douglas will get to him. 3 or 4 tacklers coming in here, and then a flag comes in late. Eli Christensen the last to help him down. But we'll check the marker here. Flag resting at the 16-yard line. This is a face mask on the Patriots, the 5-yard variety. And they'll add 5, so Duchesneau gets to the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 13 in our first penalty of the night. We'll move it forward to the 12. So the Governors in the red zone leading 28-0. We've got 8 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Duchesneau started the night with a 12-yard run. He gets 13 this time. But he'll go backwards once again as Peyton Sandel comes through along with some help
was going to say from 32, which would be Weston Hill. Might have been 14 in there, 42 in there, Weston Newsom as well. Good play for the Patriot defense. A loss of 2 back to the 14-yard line. And it'll be second down and 12. 7:35 to go. Ball on the far hash mark. Lounsbury still in at quarterback. Another pitch, and this one hits the deck as the pitch might have been a little ahead of the runner. He tried to make a one-handed grab. It ended up on the floor, but he fell right on top of it, fortunately for Pierre. And I think that was, yes, it was Danberg back in there, attempting to run the football. So a loss for the Governors. It'll send them back to the 18-yard line. They'll lose 4 on the play. But they do still have the football. They're in 4-down territory. And they've got 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Comfortably out in front. Empty backfield now for Lounsbury. Or this is Jaron Deal back in there. He will throw behind Terwilliger, but Cooper makes a nice grab. He's taken down at the 10-yard line, unfortunately, though. It's Lincoln Dilgis. I thought I saw 12 when his back got turned, but it was 13 instead. And the Governors are going to change personnel because there are things that need to be worked on, such as field goal attempts. So a gain to the 10 is 8 yards for Lincoln Dilgis. Thrown by Jaron Deal. And Carter Templeton will come in and attempt what'll amount to a 27-yard field goal from the right hash. This is a line drive that will not make it through the uprights. Didn't get high enough, in fact. So the Governors actually come up empty. And with 5:59 to play in the second quarter, Governors still lead by the score of 28-0, but still kind of a disappointment here, Coach, when you don't come away with points in a situation you certainly expected to.
Yeah, I mean, just change up personnel, just trying some different things. You know, obviously when you look at, it looks like right now whenever we do have Lounsbury out there, just, I mean, heavy dose of run. And obviously our linemen got to, kind of set the tone in that case. And, pretty good drive down the field. Just, again, it kind of shows that, much like Douglas on their second down play that they had in the 11th play there, it's just that one play can really kind of set that momentum back a little bit and then force you to do things that, you weren't really expecting to do on that drive.
So here come the Patriots again as they pitch out to the right. Now moving from left to right and lowering the boom on a rushing attempt is Peyton Sandel, as he made a pure defensive back pay for the tackle attempt here across the 20 to the 25 to the 26 as the play started. It's a touchback when you miss a field goal, as the Governors did. So pickup of 6 for Peyton Sandel, who's starting to get a little more of a rhythm going here.
Well, let's highlight him a little bit. I mean, here's a senior. It's your last football game, basically, of your career, and here's a kid that's selling out on defense and on offense right now. It's kind of been fun watching him play.
Yeah, had a slow start, but again, the offensive line doing the job. I formation, Sandel the deep man again. They'll pitch it out left side, far side, which is the short side of the field. He'll get close to a first down across the 25. They need the 30. Didn't quite get there. It looks like they'll spot him just ahead of the 28-yard line, a pickup of a couple more. And it'll be 3rd down and 2. Douglas ran 13 plays on their last, or make it 11 plays on their last possession. But that 11th play was a Sutton Sonnenschein interception on actually the first ball that they threw in that possession. Here has picked off 2 Jack Coper passes so far. Douglas is going to need to take their second charged timeout here in the first half. 5:09 to play in the second quarter. Still, all Pierre 28-0. The Governor defense looking to make a play when we come back after this 30-second Coke break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is
Welcome
what
back
matters.
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee
Final night of the regular season. Governors quickly out to a 28-0 lead. Scoring has slowed a little bit here. Douglas sustaining a couple of drives. They're trying to keep this one alive as we welcome you back to Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. 3rd down and 2 for the Patriots. Coming from Box Elder out west. On the east side of Rapid City, South Dakota, they'll stay on the ground. They pitch to their man, Peyton Sandel, up ahead of the 30-yard line. 3 Governors will bring him down, but he's a half yard to a full yard across. And that is a Douglas Patriot 1st down. Cruz Williams there in on the stop. Williams has gotten more and more playing time as the last few weeks have gone along. Another good example, Coach, of guys that are stepping into play and making great contributions.
Yeah, we've got a lot of young personnel out there right now that just waiting, get their time and just again compliments to the coaches and getting them ready for that game time situation.
Patriots have been making things happen out of the eye. They'll go offset to the right here with fullback Carson Hicks. They'll stay with Peyton Sandel this time. The Governors will stack him up. And immediately, there is Maximus Schmitz. Speaking of guys who've been making plays this time all season long, it's been Schmitz who will check out. Will Eilers was there as well. No gain on this play, 2nd down and 10 for the Patriots.
Yeah, he's been impressive to watch all year. I mean, a kid that I would say kind of was off the radar at the beginning of the season, and just that's a name I remember just calling every single week of just a great defensive lineman and on the offensive side as well.
I think you go back to homecoming night in a sloppy field, that win over Brookings, which actually was only a 3-point win. I think we made him as our player of the game that particular night. He was just making stops all night long. Coper is running out of the backfield, and he'll take a big hit by Porter Hunsley. Coper had to brace for impact that time. This will be a designed quarterback run all the way. We won't give it a sack, but it will be a loss on the play. Back to the 26, a loss of 5 for the QB. And Coach, one of the things we see Jack Coper, he's got one of those extra pads on his helmet that just kind of gives him a little more cushion. I guess we assume perhaps he's had a concussion in recent past, and you certainly don't want to see that happen again. But Porter Hunsley came in and hit him hard in the backfield.
Yeah, and on the same side, as far as the defense goes for Pierre right now, we could be sitting back playing lackadaisical, but here's a kid that's still fired up and ready to go no matter what the score is. So just kind of that's keeping that same intensity, and you brought that up at the beginning of the game.
2:50 to go. This is a 3rd and long. Coper puts it into the air. Nice spiral, but it's hauled in by a Pierre Governor defender. Sutton Sonnenschein for the 2nd time at the 50. Near side 40. Has the 30. A couple of men to beat. He'll take a big hit. Out of bounds. Forced out inside the 20-yard line. And I think this is number 50 for the Patriots, Siler Merrill, who was... he was on the spot. He was ready to make a big play himself. Props to him for delivering where Porter Hunsley did as well. Siler Merrill says, "You hit my quarterback, I'm going to hit you back." But Sutton Sonnenschein picks off his 2nd pass of the night, his 3rd in the last 3 quarters of football. He had one in the 4th quarter, actually in the 3rd quarter. A week ago. Here's Deal as the Governors start at the 15-yard line. He'll scramble out. Still on his feet. Throws underneath. Has Shufflebein at the 12. To the 10. 5. Reaches for the pylon. No, he's out of bounds at about the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. Great job of extending the play for the Governors by Carter Shufflebein. Actually by Jaron Deal, of course, scrambling. The scrambling ability of this young kid is just absolutely amazing.
I think that's what the fan base is going to be really excited for the next 2 years with him, is that even in a rush situation, he's able to get out of that pocket, and the receivers understanding that situation as well, getting back to him, and just finding a way to get open. And he's got that option. Either I'm going to run, I'm going to pass, but you got to honor both of them in that case.
It's a 1st down pickup, 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, but the Governors will go pre-snap penalty. Somebody flinches on the offensive line, and that's a false start. So a 5-yard mark-off will move them back to the 7-yard line. We've got 2:23 to go, second quarter. Pierre trying to add to a 28-0 lead. See Carter Templeton, who missed a field goal on the last possession with a rare line drive. He's been booming kicks, but that line drive miss of the 27-yarder, and he's trying to go through his own motions here. And we've got another whistle, but I don't see any flags. Oh, we have one on the near side. So another false start, perhaps by the wide-out receiver on the near side. It happens to be Caleb Lounsbury. New position for him, but I guess if you're wide out, you've got to know the cadence a little more than, just listening for, or at least just watch for the snap. Back-to-back 5-yarders in the wrong direction for the Governors. It's still first and goal, but back to the 12. And again, and it's on the near side here again. And Lounsbury again. You get the sense maybe Caleb's a little itching, raring to go, maybe because the play is, he might be the first read on this play, but
it's just a little rocking forward for him. I mean, it's not even that he's really, coming off the line hard. It's just a little rock forward that's just before that snap.
Now the snap on first and goal at the 17. Deal will tuck and run to the far side, back inside the 10-yard line, forced out of bounds at around the 8. And the good thing here is it's still first down, and obviously the Governor's capable of picking yardage up, especially the way Jaron Deal has been running. He'll pick up 10 to the 7-yard line. Second quarterback keeper of the night. He scrambled for 30 yards on his first attempt all the way to the house for 6 back in the first quarter. 2:11 to play. Now second and goal, wide open in the end zone. There's the big man, Cooper Terwilliger, touchdown. Good look over the middle. Jaron Deal with an easy throw. Cooper Terwilliger, easy catch, 7-yard touchdown. It's 34-0 Governors. You saw that one open up right away, JW.
Yeah, we had two guys there. Basically, you had him and Dill just was basically hitting a little corner route, and we had him basically hitting a little post route there. And he could have went either way, but both wide open. And obviously, you got two guys that are, over 6 feet against a little bit shorter defensive players. It's pretty easy to get that touchdown there.
Templeton dissects the uprights this time, and it's 35-0. 2:07 to play. Carter will kick when we come back after this 30-second break. The Governors in the final night of the regular season up big on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Generational Welcome success. Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
William Wilson with a Halloween music. That is still a week from tomorrow night, but I'll tell you what, I've done some very cold Halloween football games in my days broadcasting. But it's perfect weather here tonight. Feels good.
So, question for you going forth: Thursday night, first round, Thursday night for us tonight. Obviously, what do you, any idea on the reason why we aren't still playing a Friday night football game this week and playing Thursdays?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They actually switched that a long time ago. If you go back, you remember they used to do Thursday, Tuesday.
They did. You're
Saturday
right. Yep.
in the postseason.
Yep.
And now it's Thursday, Friday for 11AA. Here's a nice kick, I believe. See if that was Templeton. That was Carter Templeton kicking off instead of Jacoby LaRush. This one bounces shy of the goal line, but then into the end zone for a touchback. That's a good question, though. And I don't know. When I miss Thursday nights, which are bowling nights for me, I mean, I'd still rather be doing this. And many cases.
Yeah.
But, I prefer Friday night football, I suppose.
And we'll put a little plug in for tomorrow night. You've got the YMCA, Youth Football League that gets their opportunity to do their youth Friday night lights on Hollister Field. So provides them with a great opportunity to get out here. So if you guys aren't doing anything on Friday night, still a good chance to come out and watch some good football with some young up-and-coming talent.
There you go. Douglas, 1st and 10 on a touchback to start their next possession. Play action. Coper rolls out, throws against his body. Flag thrown in the backfield. Good pass pattern, but Logan Whitty in coverage will break this one up. Pass intended for Joshua Smith. Coming in on a slant from the left side, but a penalty will go against the Patriots, I believe. And was it holding, but it's been declined, so the Governors will take the result of the play, an incomplete pass. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Obviously kind of a gracious move there by the Governor coaching staff, but it's still, this is a game that Pierre's approaching in the sense that, they want to challenge their kids in situations and make it a little, as tough as they can, I guess, with a 35-0 lead. Obviously, you have a tougher situation if it's 2nd and 10 as opposed to 1st and 20 in this sense. Fake the handoff. They pitch it out. Peyton Sandel runs over another Governor defender out near the numbers on the far side, but he'll dive ahead for a couple of yards.
Yeah, and going back to that, to a point where you also just trust your defense. I mean,
Right.
Again, you go 1st and 20, 2nd and 10. It's, again, we'll still kind of play our cards on the 2nd and 10 and, understanding we have a pretty good chance to stop them in those, couple of downs. So, but yeah, I mean, kind of looking at this game, obviously, it's why you kind of hope that Douglas comes, and plays their best game against us, because even though it's one of those games where we kind of want to maybe get some guys some rest, I mean, it's still, it's still a big game for us in terms of just getting preparation for the upcoming weeks.
3rd and 7. That was a 3-yard gain for Peyton Sandel. They'll go his way again. A little misdirection. He'll cross the 25. This time, Sam Larson and company get him down. And the Governors are going to take a timeout with 1:07 to go here, and a smart one at that. Trying to save time as 4th down is coming up. We'll step aside here as Patriots have it. 4th down, maybe a few yards to go from the 27-yard line. We'll call it the 28. It'll be 4th and 2, but a 30-second Coca-Cola break in the action. Timeout's brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. 35-0. Govs want more to close out the first half. They'll try for a 4th down stop when we come back. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Tokyo means different things to different people, but to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Hey, Josie, why so
Welcome
blunt?
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, 1:07 to go. And as we were talking during the break, John Calda and I, obviously the one reason you decline a 1st down holding penalty also at this stage of the first half is, well, you want the ball back as soon as you can get it. And going to 2nd down instead of keeping it at 1st down is one way to do that a little more quickly. It's 4th down and 2 here for the Patriots from their own 28-yard line. They'll stay on the ground. This is the big guy, Carson Hicks, and he will not make it. The Governors will get to him, and this will be a loss on the play. And one of the guys out there, 46, Cactus Corco, a 210-pound junior, helped leading the charge. And Cruz Williams in on the stop as well. So Pierre will have it on a short field. And they've got it at the 26-yard line. A loss of 2 for Hicks. But now Pierre will have it still with 1:02 to go. And we've seen the Governors go much farther distances than just 26 yards in the span of 26 seconds. So they'll run the 1-minute drill here. But a timeout will be taken here. Called by Douglas, their 3rd and final charged timeout. Another Coca-Cola timeout. We're back after this 30-second break. It's 35-0 Governors. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit
1:02 to go. Governors have it at the Douglas Patriot 26-yard line. Before we go any further, I want to make a shout out to Midco, one of our Pierre sports marketing helpers out, as they gave us some free chili. They gave all the fans free chili tonight. Here's Jaron Deal over the middle, looking for Cooper Terwilliger. He catches it inside the 5. He's tackled down to the 1-yard line. His knee was down just shy of the goal line. But another pitch and catch here, 25 yards to the doorstep. And Cooper Terwilliger, who had a 7-yard touchdown grab on his last catch, gets 25 on this one. Looking to set up another into the final minute. Deal will pitch a pass here, and with plenty of running room near side to the pylon, this will be a Governor touchdown. Carter Schuffelbein with one of the easier touchdowns he's had this season. Good blocking out on the near side, including from Caleb Lounsbury. That left side wideout. That's one thing you got to tip your hat to, John Calda, is Lounsbury comes out of that quarterback spot, injured, but, it seemed like there was some struggles to it, but he still played Governor teammate. He was blocking exceptionally well, according to Coach Steve Steele. As Carter Templeton makes the PAT, it's 42-0. But, this is Governor football in a nutshell as far as the intangibles are concerned.
Yeah, no, step up. And, it's all about the team in that case. And I still go back to, I think, one of the toughest blocks that anybody has to make is a wide receiver on a corner. And it's kind of fun. My son coming up right now, being a little bit of a wide receiver too. We talk about that quite a bit. And just having to have that one-on-one open field blocking, against a pretty quick backer in that situation. So one for him, stepping up and just playing that teammate role, and then obviously in that case just doing something that's pretty hard to do is shows the athleticism that he obviously has.
So after stopping Douglas on downs, the Governors go 2 plays, 26 yards. It was 25 yards to Cooper Terwilliger over the middle, and then a pitch pass. Touchdown throw by Jaron Deal to Carter Schuffelbein, and an easy walk to the near side pylon. In for 6. Carter Templeton's PAT is good. It's 42-0. Jaron Deal, you still call that a pass, but that is his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. He threw 2 last week, ran for 4. The kid has obviously become a touchdown machine. Carter Schuffelbein with his 2nd touchdown receiving. Terwilliger has one as well. Deal with a 30-yard touchdown run in this first half. Kea Ducheneau has a 1-yard dive as well for a score. 42-0. 36 seconds left. We obviously will have a running clock in that second half, as the Governors just taking care of business. Templeton will kick off from right to left. This one will stay short, and there was a fair catch, I thought, called for, but not by the guy who's picking it up. And in the middle of the field from the 15-yard line across the 20, keeping the feet moving, is Cale Allen out to the 25. So Douglas will have it from there. They do get the ball to start the second half as well, but we've got 30 seconds left to finish off our first half of play. As we understand it, there's a famous Pierre Governor in the vicinity tonight. Gray Zabel, I think his Seattle Seahawks are on a bye this week. Is that right?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I'm assuming since he's here tonight, but yeah.
18th overall pick out of North Dakota State. He's been playing so well.
Having a season.
How proud can a guy be, right?
Yeah.
Or how proud can a community be for one big fella? Carson Hicks with the handoff, and he'll come across over the line of scrimmage, bounce out to the right. Governors will get him down at the 29 for a 4-yard gain. Somebody texted me and said, Gray Zabel is here, and my response was, get him up here. I want to talk to him. I might be the only guy in this town that has not spoken, or, I haven't seen Gray Zabel since he got drafted. And Douglas is going to run out the clock. We can talk more about this when we get to halftime, but a good first half for the Pierre Governors as things are going as they intended them to be. They lead the Douglas Patriots at the break, 42-0.
28-0, scoring 28 in the first quarter, 14 in the second. That's our score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. As we'll pause for 3 minutes, and we'll go to the halftime break, which is also brought to you in this case by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Capitol Creek Center Plaza on East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Governors on top here on your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. We're back in 3 minutes with Pierre Governors football halftime.
On smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Each day brings the opportunity to make a difference, to follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a
Welcome
beautiful.
Back to the Owyhee Federal
Lead the Douglas Patriots by the score of 42-0. Brian Oakland with you. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Senior night for the Governor football team. The cross-country team is also doing senior night here as they are being noted. In fact, Emery Larson getting recognized right now. Caleb Morris, who had a great finish to the season. In fact, the state cross-country meet is this weekend, is it not? I think it's I got it on my schedule. Yeah. It is this weekend in Huron, so best of luck to the state cross-country team. The state competitive cheer and dance competition will take place in Watertown also this weekend coming up. We're at the half, and again, it's all Governors in this one, 42-0. Brian Oakland along with John Calda. Live streaming at drgnews.com with Live Ticket and Brian Menning and William Wilson doing technical direction in studio tonight. Here's how it all happened. The Governors received the opening kick, And from their own 37-yard line, they went a little razzle-dazzle. They had a reverse setup, a handoff to Kea Ducheneau, who handed back or pitched back to Carter Schuffelbein coming around the left to the right side, and he will weave and wind his way for 47 yards, in fact, all the way down to the Douglas 16-yard line, and then 3 Ducheneau running plays later. Kea was in from 1 yard out, and it was 7-0 with just a minute 40 gone in this game. And on the ensuing kickoff, Douglas failed to make a play on the free ball. And the Pierre Governors recovered it at the Douglas 30-yard line. 2 more plays later, Jaron Deal ran in from 30 yards out to make it 14-0. That was with less than 2 minutes gone in this game. Douglas's next possession, they go 3 and out, and the Pierre defense came on the mad rush. On the punt attempt, Porter Hunsley gets the block. Aiden Beam recovers it at the 20-yard line, was able to pick it up and run it in from 20 yards out, and it was 21-0 at the time. And then on the next Douglas possession, on the third play, Lincoln Schoenhard picks off a Jack Coper pass, returns it to the 18-yard line. 2 plays later, Jaron Deal hits Carter Schuffelbein on a screen pass. Schuffelbein finds his way to the end zone for 6 from 15 yards out. That made it 28-0, and it was still at the 5:55 mark of our first quarter of play. Douglas then comes out and was able to run the football as the Governors do some different things defensively. They picked up a couple of first downs, but on the 11th play of the drive, Coper throws a second interception of the night, picked off by Sutton Sonnenschein. The Governors get it at their own 39-yard line. They pick up a couple of first downs, get into the red zone, and they decide to go for it. Or I take that back. They decided to try a 27-yard field goal. Normally no problem for Carter Templeton, but he kicked a line drive and missed it. Actually was low, and believe it or not, Templeton is out here practicing kicks from, nearly the same spot right now. He's clearly disappointed that he missed that field goal. He's kicked a few of them this year. There he just kicked one from 30 yards, no problem. But we move on as Douglas gets it back on the touchback after 1 first down picked up. The 6th play of the drive turns into an interception again. Sutton Sonnenschein with his second in a row defensively for the Governors. He gets it returned to the Douglas 15-yard line. And then from there, after a few false start penalties, the Governors were backed up to the 17-yard line. Jaron Deal scrambled for 10, and then he hit Cooper Terwilliger from 7 yards out, wide open in the middle of the end zone. That made it 35-0. Templeton, by the way, is 6 for 6 from PATs, but he's just missed the 1 field goal. That came with 2:07 left, and then the Governors turn over the Douglas Patriots on downs, and Pierre takes over from the 26-yard line. They go with the hookup to Terwilliger to the 1-yard line, and then a pitch pass to Carter Schuffelbein from 1 yard out from Jaron Deal makes it 42-0, 36 seconds left. I think in hindsight it would have been fun to see maybe Douglas try to punt that one, although their 1 punt attempt of the night didn't go so well. Douglas ran 1 play to run out the first half, and we've got a 42-0 score. Pierre on top as the Governors totaling 211 yards of total offense, led, including 115 on the ground as a team. Schuffelbein started the game with a 47-yard scamper on the reverse play on his only carry of the night. Jaron Deal has 2 carries for 37 yards, including a 30-yard touchdown. Kea Ducheneau with 6 carries for 26 yards and a 1-yard score. Will Danberg, has run 3 times for a total of 5 yards, 115 for the Governors on the ground. Through the air, Jaron Deal 7 of 8 for 72 yards. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes. Caleb Lounsbury, whose throwing motion is hampered by injury sustained in Spearfish last week, he did come in, had a pitch pass to Kea Ducheneau for 24 yards, so he's 1 for 1 there. Overall, the Governors 8 for 9 for 96 yards on their 2 passers tonight. Carter Schuffelbein, 3 catches, 29 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cooper Terwilliger, 2 catches for 32 yards and a 7-yard touchdown included. Ducheneau has the 24-yard catch and run on the pitch pass. Caleb Lounsbury has caught 1 ball for 3 yards. Lincoln Dilgis has an 8-yard catch as well. Pierre overall, first downs, we'll count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the night. Douglas again with 3. And the turnover game, of course, being won by Pierre, as Douglas has thrown 3 interceptions on the night. Pierre has been penalized 3 times for 15 total yards. They lead 42-0, and Mercy Rule timing will come into effect when we get into the second half with Pierre on top by 35 plus. Plenty of time to go in our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial halftime break. Let's pause for 3 minutes. We'll check in on other scores in this final night of the regular season for the big schools. First night of the postseason, the round of 16 going on throughout South Dakota tonight. We'll get as many scores to you as we can also when we come back. In 3 minutes, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
We are passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast. Or call 888-422-1410.
Wegner Auto Company is a 4th-generation family-owned business established in 1907. We're the oldest dealer in South Dakota. And for more than 100 years now, we've been delivering quality vehicles with a commitment to customer satisfaction and service. Visit Wegner Auto in Pierre for your next car, truck, or sport utility vehicle. And see for yourself why we've been so successful for so long. Visit WegnerAuto.com anytime to browse the current inventory or schedule a service appointment. Wegner Auto in Pierre. Our reputation means a great deal since 1907.
Smart grocery shopping takes a little TLC. Thrifty, local, and convenient. Dakota Mart in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Walk down the aisles and find the highest quality meats, freshest produce, and delicious bakery and deli items. This week's special, 2-pound Halo Mandarin oranges, only $2.99. On your way home, stop at Dakota Mart Gas and save up to 20 cents per gallon every day. Dakota Mart, your hometown neighborhood market.
Hag Ag specializes in providing agricultural solutions to fit your farm's needs. Hag Ag is locally owned and serves central and western South Dakota. Brandon has over 20 years experience in the ag industry with extensive knowledge of this area. Hag Ag provides one stop for all your Pioneer seed and chemical needs and offers ground and aerial application. Call Brandon Hag today at 605-216-6758. 605-216-6758.
Taking care of your vehicle since 1980, TMA and Pierre has been serving Central South Dakota for over 42 years. Owners Bruce and Brenda Lounsbury, owners of the Ultimate Tire Store, have been taking care of customers at TMA for over 30 years. TMA, your hometown-owned business, offers quality service and products. Tires, mufflers, alignments, oil changes, brakes. Call 605-224-6167. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. TMA, next to the Northridge Plaza in Pierre.
At First Dakota, we don't like to brag about ourselves. So when Forbes named us South Dakota's best bank again, we faced a dilemma. Thankfully, we have the state's best customers, so we're happy to brag about them instead. After all, they inspire us every day. Farmers, the business owners, the families. Without them, we'd be just another bank. So thank you to all of our amazing customers. We wouldn't be here without you. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Halftime continues with the Governors leading at the break 42-0 over Douglas. Brian Oakland here. Let's take a look at the rest of the 11 AA scoreboard. One game just about over. It is, for all intents and purposes, at Howard Wood Field. T area playing AAA Sioux Falls, Washington. The Titans are going to fall tonight, 27-7. Washington with the lead in that one. Early scores have Spearfish leading out west at Sturgis 7-0, about halfway through the first quarter. Yankton has just scored for the first time at Mitchell 7-0 with 3 minutes left in the first, and games with no report yet. 7 o'clock kickoffs with Aberdeen Central hosting Watertown, and it is Huron playing at Brookings. And it's tough to know really where everybody is going to line up. We started with Huron, Yankton, Pierre, T area, the top four for the postseason. T area has lost to Sioux Falls, Washington. If Watertown wins tonight at Aberdeen, They'll be favored, but I think that game could go either way. If Aberdeen Central plays well in particular, that could put Watertown up to the 4. T-Area drops to 5, perhaps. And then you've got Spearfish and Sturgis, the 6 and 7, against each other. If Spearfish wins, that obviously could vault them up to maybe a number 5. So, where do you put Watertown? If they win, probably moves up to a 4. T-Area drops to 5, but do they drop to a 6 if Spearfish beats Sturgis tonight? And then let's just say Brookings pulls an upset and beats Huron tonight. It could happen. The 8 over the 1, and things could really shake up. But who do we see next week? The Governors will host a first-round game. Right now, it would be Spearfish, the team that they spotted a 21-0 lead to last week. And, of course, came back with a furious comeback. But that all remains to be seen. Could be T-Area here next week. Of course, it doesn't matter right now, but it'll be fun to think about things like that maybe by the time this game comes to an end. 11 AAA scores have O'Gorman leading Roosevelt 35-3 at halftime. Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Jefferson have 7 minutes left in the third, and a very interesting score. It's only 7-7. Second game at Howard Wood tonight has Sioux Falls Lincoln against Harrisburg. That'll be a good one, and the Rapid City battle at O'Hara is going on tonight out west. Central against Stevens. 1 win combined for those two teams. Checking in on our old friend Matt Thorson, his West Central Thorsons have the Trojans have a 7-3 lead at Vermilion still in the first quarter. Let's see about some playoff football. Winner at halftime, leading unbeaten Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central 14-12. We've got Mobridge Pollock on the air up north on Star 99. They trail at the break at Mount Vernon Plankinton 14-6. And again, that one on Star 99. Wagner has a 7-0 lead halfway through the first quarter over the Chamberlain Cubs. Looking through some 9-man scores, Kimball White Lake leads at Britton Heckla 14-7. That game is into the third quarter. And focusing on Central South Dakota teams, nothing to report yet. John Calda's Bonham Cavaliers hosting Gregory tonight, but don't have anything on that one just yet. Warner on top early over Timber Lake 7-0. Platte Geddes leads Lyman 8-0 in 9A. And that one is halfway through the first quarter. They played each other a few weeks ago, and Platte Geddes won 64-28. Phillip is hosting Esteline Hendricks tonight in a game that is being streamed on the KPLO page of drgnews.com. Harriet Selby on KMLO, also at drgnews.com, leads Canastota 14-0. Football power, Canastota, but they're not the same Canastota Hawk team this year. Sully Butte's the defending 9B champion, leads Hitchcock-Tulare 14-0. That game is on KGFX, 1060 AM, 103.1 FM. They're in the second quarter there. Corsica Stickney leads Kadoka area 8-6 out west. Faulkton area hosting Burke tonight, among other scores there. That's playoff football. Looks like we're about ready to go to our second half. Let's pause for a 1-minute timeout as our wealth partners, Ameriprise Financial halftime break comes to an end. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
May Adam Law Firm of Pierre offers superior legal representation. Clients can be assured their legal matter will be handled with expertise and the utmost professionalism. Their skilled South Dakota lawyers can take care of your family law, estate planning, real estate law, and personal injury. They're able to help you plan and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm in Pierre since 1881.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Sports on the stations of DRG Media Group. For all of your investment needs, call or stop by your Pierre area Edward Jones office. Go Govs! Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Second half about to commence here at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field. 42-0. The Pierre Governors lead the Douglas Patriots. Governors set to kick off our Comtech opening kick of the second half coming up. Brian Oakland with John Calda here in the booth. It is Brian Menning also running camera keeping track of his own LA Chargers as they play the Minnesota Vikings. That game, by the way, is on KPLO-FM on the airwaves and KMLO as well. Comtech opening kick with Carter Templeton kicking one high end over end. Taken by Carson Hicks at the 20-yard line. Middle of the field, he comes straight up. He'll be met by Beam and Helper for the Pierre Governors. A 10-yard return to the 30, and the Douglas Patriots will start from there as we begin our second half. And again, with mercy rule timing in effect, when a team is ahead by 35 or more points in the second half, the clock will run continually. Whether a play goes out of bounds or you get an incomplete pass or a first down picked up or a change of possession, things like that. The Governors are going to shuffle people in and out. We'll try to keep up to date with names and numbers. D-line is going to include, well, might even have some freshmen in here that I don't have on the regular roster, so we may struggle with that just a little bit. Jack Coper is into the backfield with Twins behind him, and here is a hesitation move. Peyton Sandel out to the far side, and he has got a big gain all the way into Pierre territory inside the 40, down around the 30-yard line before being run out of bounds. And at first check, I really don't see any Governor starters out there, so that is going to be a contributing factor here. But it'll be to the Pierre 33-yard line. Big gain there for the Patriots, and Peyton Sandel, who did run fairly well in the first half. 29 yards, although 14 carries. And here, he'll pick up 37 yards. So first down for Douglas. Coper in the backfield again. Play action, going to throw, but he'll overshoot his intended target at the numbers at around the 20-yard line. Pass intended for Owen Moninger. And it'll be second down and 10. John Olson in coverage for the Pierre Governors. Coper 0 for 5 in the first half and threw 3 interceptions, 2 picked off by Sutton Sonnenschein, 1 by Lincoln Schoenhard. And case in point here on an incomplete pass, the clock's still running continually, 9:45, counting down in the third quarter. Sandel and Hicks are in the backfield. Moninger comes out wide to the left here to the near side. They'll stay on the ground. Pitch, and Hicks quickly stops, redirects back to the right side. And he will be met and dropped. And a good play there by Maxon Dupree, if I saw number 18 correctly. So a good stop there and a gain of 3 as the Patriots will have it at the 31-yard line. In fact, that'd be a 2-yard pickup. Minimizing damage to these Governors' second and third stringers right now with a 42-0 lead. 3rd and 8. Big challenge here for these guys, John Calda. I mean, obviously, I think the Governors really want the shutout. They got one last time they played here against Sturgis, and it's up to the younger guys to try to keep this one intact.
Yeah, good. Really good test for them. Just kind of see what you're made of. You get an opportunity to shine on the big stage on Thursday Night Lights, and see what you can do to help out the team.
4 down territory, and these Governors will stack up Peyton Sandel this time. They pitched out to the left. Still inside the hash mark. Sandel gets back to the 31. That's the line of scrimmage, but a gain of 0. And good job there once again. Eli Nichols is in on the stop. See, the big guy in the middle right now is Sam Valle. He is a 255-pound, 6'2 senior. Other guys on the line, Atticus Moore, 225-pounder. There's a 62 out there, but I don't have a 62 on my roster.
I was looking even on our activity association.
That's your defensive line right now. 4th and 8, and a quick start by the receiver on the slot on the left side. Freshman just checked in, and probably for the first time tonight, this will be a Douglas penalty and mark them back 5 yards. So 4th and 8 will become 4th and 13 from the 36-yard line. They got 37 yards from Peyton Sandel on the first play of this drive, first play of the second half. But again, the younger or lesser experienced Governor defense doing a good job. Couple of linebackers in for Pierre. Rowdy Minning, 155-pound senior. Eli Nichols, who was in on that last play as well. 4th and 13, Coper looking to throw. 2 wides both sides. He's got one going long here, and the pass thrown away, leading his receiver a little too far as a Governor defender fell down, George Rapp. But the pass is thrown out of bounds on 4th and 13, and that will be a defensive stop on downs. A pass intended for number 3, Evan Johnson. But the Governors will take over from the 36-yard line, looking to add to a 42-0 lead. We'll see who comes out to play offense here. 6:42 to go, third quarter. Governors on top, 42-0. Your quarterback will be Aiden Johnson, a 165-pound sophomore. He takes his first varsity snap. Hands off to Will Danberg, who had 3 carries in the first half. From the near hash mark, Danberg will cross the 40-yard line and reach the 44, pick up 8. Right off the bat. Coach, I'm one of these guys. I've got a busy lifestyle. I don't get out here on Monday nights to watch JV games and things like that, but this is where it can get a lot of fun to watch these younger guys or guys who don't get a lot of playing time an opportunity to really, like you say, you use the word shine, and that's a perfect word for it here.
Yeah, and I mean, they've had a really good season. The JV, again, their schedule even over the last couple of years has really ballooned, and, they're getting 9-10 games and really good opportunities to get out here and play, and I don't think they lost too many games, and again, just showing the future between them and the freshman, level coming up. Some good things we're going to see from this program going forth.
Danberg used a nice stiff arm to get something positive out of this one. They'll spot him to the 45, but instead of a 4-yard loss, he'll pick up a 1-yard gain and check out, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 from the Pierre 45. Aiden Johnson again in at quarterback. He'll hand off here. New runner in to the 50-yard line. And this is Thomas Snyder, who is on for the first time. Snyder, a 165-pound sophomore, crosses the 50 into Douglas territory for a pickup of 6 to the 49.
The other part you bring up with these guys is, they're kind of the unsung heroes of, the day-to-day practices in terms of what's making our team as good as what they are. And, you're setting up scout team, you're setting up scout team D, and, these guys, again, they've got to come in every day, even though they're not getting the chance to play, and really, give everything they've got to make our A squad the best that they can be.
Reach out to Snyder as he's got a first down picked up, and he just got tripped up. Otherwise, he's probably still running inside the Douglas 40 to the 35. Mark him down at the 34, 15 yards for Thomas Snyder. And what you're saying and what you're describing, Coach, is they're already knowing. They're getting to know the system, so it's nothing new. It shouldn't be anything new as they come out and all they, try to execute what they've been picking up all along the way. 2 receivers scurry out here to the near side. 1 receiver far left. Aiden Johnson on 1st and 10. Will throw his first pass as a varsity player. Varsity quarterback. It is caught on the far side. Eyes aren't so good. We have 42. 40. Jagger Gardner. He's had some varsity time so far this year. 145-pound sophomore. Pickup of 5 to the 29-yard line. Gardner played in the Sturgis game a couple of weeks ago when the Governors had a 44-0 victory. Back to the ground on 2nd and 5, but the Patriots will stack this one up as Snyder will be held at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 3rd carry so far, now 3rd and 5. Playoffs start next week. I believe we expect a 6 o'clock start time. Governors will host. We'll talk more about that in the postgame, of course. Aiden Johnson, play action, will throw near side. Has his man, 31 to the 25. Number 31, I do not have. And I was waiting for Ryan Munson to say it, but he did not. He didn't have the name either. So, perhaps a freshman player Good for a Governor first down, pickup of 6 yards. 1st and 10 from there. The Governor JVs are on the move. 2:16 left. Actually, they stopped. Nope. Okay, the clock got stuck. It does that sometimes. Here's Johnson spinning out of a sack. Look out, 25-20, 15-10, weaves up the near hash mark inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, and Aiden Johnson.
All right.
Makes a heck of a play down to the 5. That's a gain of 18 yards for the quarterback. How about Aiden Johnson right on the money? A right on the money highlight play, which throughout our broadcast are brought to you by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. So the Governor's in the red zone and in a goal-to-go situation. 1st down. Johnson takes the snap, gives it to Snyder. He's wrapped up and will still muscle his way forward for a yard, maybe 2. James Poulos, a 290-pound sophomore, got to him, but still, even after first contact, Snyder muscled forward for maybe 2 yards from the spot of contact, but it turns into a 1-yard gain on the 9th play of this drive. 2nd and goal at the 4. We've got a minute left. Obviously fast-moving 3rd quarter. Clock running continually. It was 42-0 when we had halftime. Here maybe we'll try to get on the board before the end of the 3rd quarter, but a pitch to Danberg. He drops it, picks it back up through the blocking scheme, and it's in for 6. Touchdown, Will Danberg. Will Danberg on senior night runs for the 5th time, and this is a 4-yard touchdown run. He turned a disaster into a touchdown as Danberg scores his first varsity score in Governor Green. Carter Templeton, 6 for 6 in PATs. 45 seconds left. Clock does stop for scoring plays. And the PAT is good, and the Governor's lead 49-0 with 45 seconds left. We are still in the 3rd quarter of play. We'll pause for 30 seconds, come back for a Governor kick when we return with more Pierre Governor football.
Graham Tire
Vacation Home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Governor's first possession of the second half runs 10 plays and 64 yards, continually running clock. Overall, 5 minutes and 57 seconds off the 3rd quarter clock. Will Danberg runs it in from 4 yards out. Carter Templeton's PAT makes it 49-0 as the Governor's lead the Douglas Patriots here. Templeton will kick off, and again, a drive that's engineered all by 2nd string, even 3rd string players. Aiden Johnson does a good job at the quarterback position. He was 1 for 1 on that possession, hooking up with Jagger Gardner on just a 5-yarder. But the big play of that drive really was Johnson spinning out of a would-have-been sack, and he scrambled for 18 yards to set the Govs up at the 5. They score 2 plays later. Templeton line drives one to the 15-yard line. It's taken on the fly here by the return man. And this is not Cale Allen, who has returned most of the kicks tonight. This is 21, and that is Joshua Smith. Douglas will have it at the 26-yard line here with 26 seconds left here in our 3rd quarter of play. In fact, the clock runs, so we'll see if Douglas even gets a play off before we go to the 4th. Douglas closing out their season tonight. Obviously been a tough one, and in fact, the last 3 full seasons have been difficult. And they will get the play off with 1 second left in the quarter, but the handoff is dropped. Quarterback Coper will pick it up, but he'll be tackled for a loss, and a nice job in pursuit by the Governors' Seth Shop, 165-pound senior. So a loss on the play, and we close out quarter number 3. We're on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. The Governors lead the Douglas Patriots 49-0. It's Gales Gas Service in Pierre sponsoring our scoreboard. 60 seconds, we go to the 4th. This is Pierre Governor Football on River 92.7 at drgnews.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Spooky sometimes. Welcome back to Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field on a 2nd and 13. First play of the 4th quarter. As the pass intended for Owen Moninger out on the near side. He is forced to jump for it. He missed it right through his hands. The Governors were there to stick him, but the Govs actually had a chance to pick that one off as well. They have intercepted 3 passes tonight. But again, now the Governors have all 2nd and 3rd stringers in there. John Olson, Maxon Dupree, a couple of the guys out here on the near side of the defensive backfield included. Incomplete pass with the pass. The clock continues. Coper has the snap go over his head. He'll go run it down, but not until the 6-yard line will he fall on it. And a terrible situation here for the Patriots as they're backed up a long way. A loss of 17 on the play. They've gone under center for most of the night, but they have had some shotgun snaps. This one just gets away. Lucas Johnson, the center, sending that one over the top of the quarterback's head. And, you got to give rushing stats, unfortunately, on that one for the quarterback who has gone backward 3 times tonight. They'll try to punt out of the end zone. They get it away. The Governors blocked one back in the first quarter. This one will take a bounce and be fielded at the 30-yard line. Stumbling is Hudson Stoser. He'll get hit at the 25 and then pushed back, but Stoser keeps it alive. They'll spot it at the 27-yard line. A net gain of 21 yards for Douglas. All things considered, not bad from deep out of their own end zone, but Pierre will have it with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 4th quarter and also in the regular season. 5th time the Governors will start a drive in Douglas territory tonight. They've actually started 3 possessions on their own side of the 50. Another new quarterback in. Pitch back to Thomas Snyder. He'll run far side and cut in front of the 20-yard line. Dropped there. Quarterback. We have there's 39 who was taking pregame warm-ups, but might be a freshman. But we don't have him on our active roster, at least the one we're using. This is a 9-yard gain for Thomas Snyder, running the football inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. I like the way Snyder runs the football. John Calda is going to go on assignment, it looks like here. He'll find out who our quarterback is for the Governors. Looking to throw, but here come the Patriots. There were 2 rushers in there very quickly. Moninger is in there, 32 also for the Patriots. That's Weston Hill. They came quick. And the offensive line had a vulnerability on this particular play. Governors will have it 3rd down and 10 to go, back to the original line of scrimmage, a loss of 9. JW, what'd you find out?
I got nothing for you. I apologize to the parents out there, whoever, but I've got no answers yet.
All right, well, I'm going to send you downstairs and ask the PA guy, because Munson did have the name.
He did,
here,
okay.
So 3rd and 10, 8:22 to go. And a high snap. No, it's a ball on the ground, and Douglas will get a takeaway here. 39 did everything he could to haul this one in, but as he tried to bring it back in, it ricocheted back forward, and the linebacking core of the Patriots will fall on it. This will be a fumble taken away by the Douglas Patriots with 8:03 to go. First turnover of the night for the Pierre Governors. And the Patriots will have it 1st and 10, but again, the clock runs and time is a premium, so to speak. It'll be Douglas football at the 29-yard line.
Got it. Mr. Radlingly, freshman quarterback.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. All right.
First name?
I don't know yet.
Owen.
Owen, there we go.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a pass over the middle. The Patriots make a positive play up to the 50-yard line, tackled into Pierre territory. Jack Coper still throwing the football, and Carson Hicks out of the backfield makes a nice grab. And they'll have it at the Pierre 48-yard line. That's a pickup of 23 yards. First completed pass for the Patriots tonight. And again, 23 yards into Pierre territory. 1st and 10 from there. Now we're down to 7 minutes. Clock running continually here in the 4th quarter. Coper with an empty backfield. 2 receivers left, one of which comes in motion. It'll be a jet sweep handoff, and a nice tackle made. 36 for Pierre makes the stop, Eli Nichols, and it's Brody Slankauskas running the football for the first time tonight. But this will be a loss of 2. And right now, probably we'll see Douglas, maybe running whatever kind of plays they can, mixing things up, trying to pick up whatever yardage they can. This might be their last opportunity to get one more score on the board on their season. They'll pitch out. Peyton Sandel running left, and the Governors fight through the block. Sandel, frustrated, spikes the football as he takes a hit. I believe Pierre had 49. Tucker Swenson in on the stop. And Sandel's feet just went out from under him. He was trying to cut back. I think he would have been able to do that if his feet don't go out from under him. It's just a straight slip. And Peyton Sandel tackled for a 5-yard loss back to the Douglas 45. Sandel had a 37-yarder to start the second half of play. 5.5 minutes to go. Patriot ball, far hash mark as they move left to right. Coper tosses, and he's got his man, Slankauskas, who comes back and receives into Pierre territory at the 45, turns upfield for a couple more yards to the 43. And they'll spot right between the 43 and the 42-yard line, so a good gain will give them about 12 yards on that play. Still shy of a first down, though. And upcoming a Patriot effort on 4th down and 4. 49-0 Governors. Under 5 minutes to play. In this one, they're going to go on the ground. Pitch out. Sandel makes his cut. He's got a first down. Outside the numbers on the far side of the field. Inside the 40-yard line. Dropped at the 36. A pickup of 7 on 4th and 4. And obviously Douglas knows they're playing against second, maybe third stringers in many cases, but I like the fact that they can trust their senior tailback with a straight pitch and sweep him out and let him make his own play here.
Yeah, in fact that he's still in the game again to give him the opportunity just to finish off the season, hopefully, I wouldn't say hopefully on a high note, but on a little bit higher note, some good rushing yards and just getting a chance to finish it the way he wants to.
He'll go his way again. Rather, this is Hicks, the fullback, and he slips a couple of tackles, but taken down still by that second effort. And back to the line of scrimmage goes Carson Hicks. Hicks, a 200-pounder. He would be the Lightning to Peyton Sandel's Thunder, neither necessarily with blazing speed, but Sandel has run with quite a burst of intention and purpose in many cases tonight. 2nd and 10 for the Pats. 3.5 minutes to go. And they've got some shuffling of the receivers. One of them's got to get set on the far side, now ready to go. Under center, dropped the snap, but he picks it up. Coper now pitches back to Sandel, but the Governors will get him at the line of scrimmage out in the alley on the far side. Another good job in pursuit for the Governors. Eli Nichols is getting his name called quite a bit here in this second half now. Another gain of nothing for the Patriots. And now 3rd down and still 10 to go, under 3 minutes to play. Final football game of the weekend. We do have a double dose of Governor volleyball tomorrow night at O'Gorman and Saturday at home against the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Here is a pass over the middle. Plenty of coverage downfield, but Carson Hicks, who caught a 23-yarder earlier on this drive, has this one go over his head on very much the same type of play. And a timeout will be taken here by Douglas, and 4th and 10. 2:21 to go on the incomplete pass here. Let's pause for 30 seconds. Timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We're back in 30 to close this one out. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Futures aren't made trailing 49-0. Far hash mark. Jack Coper will send a man in motion. That's Slankauskas. Fake it to him. Fake it to Sandel. Coper, broken play now. He'll have to throw it away. Over here on the near side, the nearest receiver is Jackson Montalvo. But he was another 5-10 yards upfield. And as Coper faked a handoff to two different players, it looked like they wanted to extend the play a little bit, but it's incomplete. And the Patriots will turn it over on downs here. 2 for 11 night for Coper throwing the football. So the Governors have 1:45 to go. We'll see what they can do with the guys that are out there. Owen Rattlingleaf, number 39, the quarterback. As the Governors have it at their own 36-yard line. Douglas will be unabated to the quarterback as Hicks tried to get a quick start out on the far side. This will be a 5-yard penalty, and even for penalties, the clock doesn't stop. So all that does is continues the quick night here in the second half. Govs led at halftime 42-0. So obviously a fast-moving second half of play. And even 1 minute to go. It's not Rattlingleaf, I don't believe, quarterbacking. It is Aiden Johnson back in there once again. He'll pitch. Has Danberg here, who's got running room. 40 to the 50, near side, still in bounds. 40 to the 30, pushed out right there. And 33 on the stop here for the Patriots. Jericho Morgan, he's an 8th grader. But a big gainer here for Will Danberg inside the 30. They'll call it the 28-yard line. That's 36 for WD. 20 seconds to go. Thomas Snyder is the tailback now behind Aiden Johnson in the pistol. They'll pitch his way. Heading out far side to the right. Snyder looking for the corner. Has it. Oh, there's a flag that'll be thrown. Snyder out at the 15-yard line, I believe. It's going to be inconsequential. There is a flag, so the play probably doesn't count anyway. It's holding on the Governors. And for official stats, as official as I can get, the flag is thrown at the 16-yard line. It's a 12-yard gain for Snyder. But that play will bring an end in the continually running clock to this one. And that'll do it. The Pierre Governors end the season on a 3-game winning streak as they defeat the Douglas Patriots by the score of 49-0. Pierre ends the regular season at 6-3. Douglas 0-9. And for those that are keeping track, it is their 27th consecutive loss. For what it's worth. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Use their budget plan and keep full service when it gets cold to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Still love the effort on the part of the Patriots, but the Governors are looking good going into the postseason. Typical for a Governor squad. The train's passing by, blowing the horn in appreciation. Govs win tonight, 49-0. We'll pause for 3 minutes and go into our Family Dental postgame. When we come back, it's Family Dental with offices in Pierre and in Gettysburg. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota. Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Take care of business, and most importantly, stay healthy. Get set for that postseason. I don't know if it's the team you really want to play to go into the postseason, but still, you know, for as far as a tune-up goes, I think you can call it that in some regard. But you know, it's obviously probably your last chance to get some younger players or lesser experienced players an opportunity to do some things in the varsity ranks, especially on your home field. And I think there's a lot of good things you can take out of this game just the same.
Oh, 100%. But I think you probably hit the nail on the head in terms of, you know, just with the kind of week we had last week, you know, in terms of what happened. It's like we'd almost like to maybe even take this week and continue on with that success and just see what we have on that offensive side and what we can really do with that. But again, when you kind of look year after year, this last game of the season has kind of always been that senior night, always been a way to get everybody into the game and just, you know, just keep that steam kind of rolling in terms of you know, getting to the off season. And you know, this team, I don't expect anything different. We've seen to you know, definitely find a way to, you know, pick things back up, you know, to get in that first round playoff game.
Well, that's why the season is as long as it is, and I think that's that is the key. It doesn't matter what happens midway through the season. Certainly didn't matter last year, and with a two-game skid at Yankton at O'Gorman this year, certainly it doesn't matter what happened in those two games. Oddly enough, I mean, if you really want to pick apart this season, the Governors are 3 plays away in 3 losses from being 9-0 going into the postseason, and you know, they were the preseason odds-on team to beat, and I think they still are the team to beat going into the playoffs next week.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes you want to be the hunter, sometimes you want to be hunted. And, right now I think we've got that mindset that we are the hunters. And, we're looking at some of those games that you could have won and knowing that they were right there. But, what's good about, the way that, obviously our program has been so successful, it's that one or two losses doesn't dictate, doesn't define what this team is all about, because what we've seen from last year and some of the other years in the past, it's, right now everybody's 0-0, and, it's just, who now can overcome and win and obviously do what they need to do. And again, with our coaching staff, with our players, we always find that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So the journey is half the fun too, because it has been fun getting to the end game coming up. But it doesn't really matter who they're going to play next week. We know that Pierre will be here on their home field, no worse than a 3 seed right now, and we'll check scores a little bit later on. And you'll be here because we've got a home game next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Too, right? It's Thursday night again. It's Thursday or Friday?
Thursday
night. There we go.
Thursday night in the quarterfinals next week, and then Friday night in the semifinals, assuming the Governors make it that far, and of course, assuming and hopefully the Govs would go all the way for the 9th straight trip to the Dakota Dome as we preview what could be in the postseason. That would also be on a Friday night, an 11AA night. Coach, we'll let you go. Appreciate your time and efforts. As always, that's John Calda helping us out as Coach Steve Steele makes his climb up the stairs to the booth here. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll get him to catch his breath. We'll talk about a 49-0 victory in our Family Dental postgame coming back in 1 minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Dr. Ryan and his team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg would like to thank their wonderful patients for allowing us to treat their whole family, from infants to elders and everyone in between, including routine dental care, same-day crowns and bridges, implants, and many more procedures. We are excited that soon we'll be able to offer IV sedation. We are excited for what the future will bring. Call 224-7774 to schedule an appointment today. Again, thank you to all our wonderful patients.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Back at the stadium, Brian Oakland along with head coach Steve Steele on a 49-0 triumph for the Pierre Governors as they finish their regular season with a record of 6-3 and 4-0 so far here on the home turf, defending and heading into the postseason. Coach, tonight, this victory, obviously you get off to a quick start with a little razzle-dazzle, and I think a little reverse play. You get an opportunity in games like this to do some things, to work on some things that you don't normally do over the course of the season. And who knows, you might have to run some plays like this as you keep going into the next few weeks, hoping to go as long as you can in that postseason. But what did you take from this game from a coaching standpoint as far as what you were able to do, also the people that were able to play in this game and make plays in coming away with a victory overall?
Yeah, I thought for the most part it was a sharp effort. I think they kind of, like we talked earlier, they did what they needed to do. Mm-hmm. They got the work done that we felt we needed to do. I thought both quarterbacks did a good job in there today. And then, we got the young guys in, and it was, fun to see what some of those young guys can do as well.
You make it plays, offense, defense, and then you get the special teams block, and obviously, they kind of bust through on that block punt through the offensive line there. But, obviously, it's good to have the quickness, and the guys know what to do once they make the play. They didn't just fall on the loose ball. Aiden Beam picked it up and ran it for a score.
Yeah, and that was really good to see. Again, like you said, the situational awareness of I could just jump on this, but I also could pick this up because there's no one near me. So it was good for those guys to be able to see that and get a live rep. And again, I think that's kind of, we took the time out trying to get another quick drive just because you don't get live reps at a small short and 2-minute drill all the time. So overall the guys did a great job making what we needed to make and getting the work in, and now we go.
And more situational awareness of
reacting to a free kick or a free kickoff, free ball, loose anybody's ball on a kickoff, and it's things like that. And sure, it seems simple, it seems fundamental, but the bottom line is, top to bottom, you've got talent, but you've got football IQ on this team.
Yeah, and I think you're starting to really see that. I mean, that's pretty complete games in a row if you take out 4 drives of last Friday. I think you're really starting to see us fire on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. And I think that's exciting for us right now, knowing where we're headed.
And with Jaron Deal in there, you're running different style of plays, so to speak, but still everybody's generating chemistry. If that's the way you got to go as we continue along, you still have to have that chemistry because it only gets tougher from here.
We did. I think he did a great job back there. And, again, we kind of tried to mix that. And, we gave him a couple drives. We gave Caleb a couple drives. I thought both guys did a great job at both spots. They both did a good job at quarterback. They both did a good job at receiver. And, again, I just think the camaraderie and the chemistry is really clicking right now.
All right. The second half, you had a 42-0 lead. You send your reserves out right off the bat defensively. They give up a big play. But then the challenge becomes, I know you guys wanted to pitch a shutout tonight, and they kind of buckled down and made a good effort, made plays defensively.
Yeah, they did. They had a couple big plays there. They had a good big pass there on that last drive, and then again they were able to shut the door afterwards. And again, that's kind of the emphasis in the locker room was, hey, the standard doesn't change. When you get your opportunity, you go out there. There's a lot of governors. It should be an honor, to get out there on that field and wearing that jersey. And, you don't want to go out there and not honor those that have come in and done that before. So I thought they did a great job. Everyone who got in played with great effort. A couple mental mistakes from the young guys, but the effort was there and they were able to shut the door afterwards.
And it just shows what they're learning from the upperclassmen all along the way too. John Calda talks about what those younger guys provide in practice. That's who you're playing against in practice. They're learning the system, and they are definitely peer governors.
Yeah, really, really fun seeing those young quarterbacks. Brecken going in and leading a touchdown drive right out of the gate there. He's really been running the varsity offense for all of about 2.5 days, and be able to go in there, and he made a couple really good plays. So, it's really fun to see some of those guys get in there. It feels a little chaotic because they're, it's their first time ever under the bright lights, but they all did a good job, and it was really fun to watch.
And to clarify for our listeners, we have number 10 as Aiden Johnson on our roster, but it was freshman Brecken Furman who was running the show there and had that touchdown drive. So everybody's doing a good job here. Owen Rattlingleaf got a series in there as well, another freshman talent, and it's just still fun to watch, especially for those people who, like me, don't get out to see the JVs and the freshman football teams. They've had great seasons though, haven't they?
They have, and again, it's easy to see why. The kids come in, they're eager, they want to learn, and again, our sub-varsity staff is fantastic. They do a great job really helping the kids just enjoy the game and learn as much as they can along the way. But yeah, they're just it's a really fun group with how eager they are right now.
All right, so let's look ahead, and have you done the math? What are you expecting as far as a potential opponent next week?
I would expect T, assuming Yankton obviously holds on to beat Mitchell. I haven't seen the score. I'm assuming they're beating them. But I would expect T by my math.
Who would drop to a 6. They have lost to Sioux Falls, Washington, Brookings, and Huron. I think Brookings could pitch an upset tonight. They're 8-6 leading. Aberdeen and Watertown just getting started. Sturgis is up on Spearfish now, 13-7 at half. Yankton's having no trouble with Mitchell, 28-0. So interesting scenario, but especially, let's talk about T. That's the one team, along with Mitchell, but they're not going to be in the mix. But the one team you haven't played this year is the T Titans, and what do you know about them?
Yeah, they're still T. They run a lot of aggressive defense. They play downhill. They play fast. They like to run the football. They've got some really good talent. They got some good speed. They're kind of a good mixture of everything, but they're a hard-nosed defense. Kind of still that grinding style on the offensive side with some option in there. And, if that's who it is, it'll be exciting to get after the prep and see what we can do.
All right, but bottom line is it's postseason and it's governor time.
Yep, and it'll be home. That part we know,
That's
and
right.
that'll be nice. We'll be at Hollister next week.
All right, Coach, congrats on the 4-0 record so far on the home field and the 49-0 win here over the Brookings Bobcats. Coach Steve Steele and the Pierre Governors winning this one, and again, we'll take a 3-minute timeout and we'll come back with more of our Family Dental Postgame. This is Pierre Governor Football.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology. Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Back at the stadium, the Governors finish this one in 2 hours or so as they defeat the Douglas Patriots 49-0. Brian Oakland back with you and more of our Family Dental postgame. Here's how it all happened tonight and throughout the night. Obviously, the Governors making a lot of right-on-the-money highlight plays throughout our broadcast, which are sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Starting right off the bat, as Pierre took the opening kick to their 37-yard line, and they get an end-around reverse to Carter Shufflebine, who rumbles 47 yards all the way to the Douglas 16-yard line. Kea Duchino ran it in from a yard out 3 plays later, and then after the Patriots failed to field the ensuing kickoff, the Governors recover it at the 30-yard line, and then 2 plays later, after an incomplete pass, Jaron Deal, quarterback, runs it in from 30 yards out to make it 14-0, and after a blocked punt, after a 3-and-out, the Governors get a punt block from Porter Hunsley. Aiden Beam continues to make plays. He'll pick it up and scamper in from 20 yards out to make it 21-0 very early still in the first quarter. Third play of the next drive for the Patriots, Lincoln Schonard picks off Jack Coper, takes it back to the 18-yard line of the Patriots, and then from there it was a little screen pass from Jaron Deal to Carter Shufflebine, who runs it in from 15 yards out, making it 28-0, just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Patriots able to run some clock, running 10 or 11 plays on the next drive, doing a good job running the football. Governors relaxed a little bit defensively, but Coper's first pass attempt of the 11-play drive was picked off by Sutton Sonnenschein, who returned it to the Pierre 39-yard line. The deepest penetration Douglas had was the 36 on that possession. The Governors were able to get it all the way down to their 10-yard line, but on fourth down, they tried a field goal. And for some reason, Carter Templeton just hit it, and it was a line drive rather than up and over. And it was a missed field goal from 27 yards out. And haven't seen that an awful lot this season, though. Certainly not out of Templeton. Sutton Sonnenschein picks off another pass on the next Douglas possession. That set the Governors up at the Patriot 15-yard line. A couple of penalties, but a couple of plays later also. Deal finds Cooper Terwilliger wide open, all alone in the middle of the end zone, right under the goalpost. And that was from 7 yards out. That makes it 35-0. And then after turning the Patriots over on downs, the Governors still had time with 1:02 to go, but it only took them 26 seconds and 2 plays. They had a 25-yard pass to Terwilliger down to the 1, and from there, a little pitch pass from Deal to Schuffelbein, who ran it in on the sweep to the left side, and that made it 42-0. With the halftime score. Douglas comes out after half, and they get a 37-yard ramble from Payton Sandel up the far sideline to the Pierre 33-yard line, but from there they'll go 4 and out. Pierre takes over with Brecken Furman, a freshman quarterback, taking the helm from their own 36-yard line. They go 10 plays and 64 yards in a continually running clock. Will Danberg was able to finish it off with a 4-yard run. Carter Templeton PAT, 49-0. That comes with 45 seconds left in the third quarter, and Patriots had a 3 and out from there, and then the Governors with Owen Rattlingleaf in at quarterback had a high snap. He got a hand on it but knocked it back forward. Douglas was able to fall on it. Their only turnover, the only takeaway by the Patriots tonight. Douglas comes back on their final drive of their season, or what would be their season, pick up a couple of first downs, including a 23-yard pass to their fullback, Carson Hicks, over the middle to the Pierre 48-yard line. They did get another first down to the 36, but they stall from there. And on the 9th play of the drive, Douglas turns it over on downs. Pierre gets a couple of first downs from there, including a nice run from Danberg that goes for 36 yards to the Patriot 28-yard line. Thomas Snyder gets 12 yards on the last play of the game. There was a penalty in there too. Doesn't matter. Continually running clock. The game is over at 49-0. Governors, I haven't added up the stats as of yet, but we'll try to do that on the fly here, as Jaron Deal in the second half did not throw a pass. In fact, the only pass thrown was by Brecken Furman. He hit it, got a 5-yarder to Jagger Gardner, and, I take that back. There was one other pass that was thrown and completed for 6 yards to a number 31 on the freshman roster that we don't have either, but Furman goes 2 for 2 for 11 yards. That adds to a combined 8 of 9 for Jaron Deal and Caleb Lounsbury in the first half. They had 96 yards overall. The Governors will have 107 yards passing unofficially, and we'll try to add up some rushing stats as well. Thomas Snyder will gain 43 yards for the Governors, all in the second half. Will Danberg ran 4 times in the second half and 7 times overall for a total of 54 yards. And it was Furman who had one scramble, made a great play in getting out of a sack, scrambled up the middle to the 18-yard line. That was on the touchdown drive in the second half. It set Pierre up at the 5. So 115 yards overall rushing in the first half. And in the second half, Danberg adds 49, Snyder adds 43, that's 92, and Furman with the 18-yard scramble, so 110 yards rushing in the second half. Here, that's a quick hit, Riggs high math, folks. That's 225 total rushing yards with 107 through the air, 332 overall yards for the Pierre Governors. They were penalized 4 times, all for 5 yards each, and Pierre picks up let's see, 12 first downs overall, 1 fumble lost in this game. Receiving-wise, before we move on, it was 3 catches, 29 yards for Carter Shufflebine, including 2 touchdowns. Cooper Terwilliger, 2 catches and 32 yards, and a 7-yarder. Ducheneau had a pitch pass from Caleb Lounsbury in the first half for 24 yards. Jagger Gardner with a 5-yarder. Another reserve for a 6-yard gain. Lincoln Dill just had an 8-yard catch in the first half as well. That's how you get 49 points with a lot of short fields, in fact, for the Governors, plus a special teams touchdown tonight. For the Douglas Patriots, on the ground, Peyton Sandel will run 18 times for a total of 78 yards. Of course, he had a 37-yarder to start the second half. That was most of that. Next in line, Carson Hicks with 17 yards on 10 tries. Brody Slankauskas ran once for a loss of 2, and Jack Coper, the quarterback, will be pushed back 25 yards on 3 attempts, one of which wasn't his fault, a high snap over his head. So unofficially 68 total yards rushing for the Douglas Patriots. Through the air, Coper completes 2 of 11 passes for 25 yards. He was sacked once for a loss of 6, so 19 net yards passing. That makes it a total of 87 total yards for the Patriots. Carson Hicks with a 23-yard catch, Slankauskas with a 12-yarder. Douglas is penalized 3 times for losses of 5 yards each, and unofficially 6 total first downs in this one, but 3 interceptions and 3 takeaways by the Governors turned into points on 2 of those 3 occasions. They missed a field goal once as well. Overall, Pierre wins at 49-0. A lot of extraneous information there, part of our recap in our Family Dental post-game. Got things to take care of, though, orders of business, including the naming of tonight's player of the game, but that comes after the plays of the game. The big play of the game is brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics. Here, let's hear from them, and we'll come back and talk about the big plays of a 49-0 Pierre Governor win on River 92.7.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Big plays of Governor broadcast on River 92.7 brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre, and certainly there were big plays much of the night, but the fact that the Governors are able to get special teams touchdowns. We've seen special teams touchdowns from great Pierre teams over the years, but not so many this season. I think you've got a pretty good team to watch if you're a Governor fan, but tonight, as I recall, is the first special teams touchdown of the season. The first possession for Douglas ended in a 3-and-out, and they tried to punt from their own 38-yard line. Porter Hunsley burst in there along with 4 or 5 other Governors. He blocks the punt cleanly, and Aiden Bean picked it up from the 20-yard line and returned it for 6. And at that point, still about 9 minutes left in the first quarter of play, the Governors were out to a 21-0 lead. Obviously, did not look back from there. 3 interceptions also, 1 for Lincoln Schoenhard, 2 for Sutton Sonnenschein, who now has 3 in the last 2 games. For the Governors from the free safety spot, also part of big plays. You had some long offensive plays, a 30-yard run for Jaron Deal tonight. You've got 3 touchdown passes for Deal and included in there as well. But plenty of big plays, but we'll go with that punt block, return for a touchdown to add to the Governor outburst this evening. That's our Hermanson Endodontics big play of the game this evening. And, of course, players of the game, we've got plenty to talk about. We'll pat the back figuratively of Peyton Sandel, who runs hard in his final game as a Douglas Patriot tonight. Had 68 yards rushing or so in this one. Made some good plays, and, with an outmatched team and an outmatched and young offensive line, Peyton Sandel still doing some good things, and many Patriots playing hard tonight, but still in the losing effort. We'll take a look at some Governors who are candidates for players of the game, which is brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores. Let's hear from them, and your player of the game is next in our Governor postgame.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fall means hunting, sporting events, school activities. It means busy. Delicious, on-the-go, fresh foods from Cowboy Country Stores make life easy. Delight in the Champs Chicken Tenders Special. 6 tenders, just $8. 8 for $10 and 10 for $12. Add delicious sides and you're set. Convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country Stores and Champs Chicken.
Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre sponsoring Player of the Game. And, of course, in a game where a lot of people get involved and are able to make plays, certainly the offensive side, you've got people like Jaron Deal, Carter Shufflebein making plays. Cooper Terwilliger was a factor tonight once again. And Ducheneau gets in there and runs well when given the opportunity. And Will Danberg on senior night getting 54 yards, in fact, leading ground gainer of this game as Will Danberg for the Governors on 7 carries, including a 36-yarder and a 4-yard touchdown. So we'll pat him on the back in this one as well. Receivers are doing a good job, but when you pitch a shutout, your player of the game probably should come from the defensive side of the football. You got Sutton Sonnenschein picking a couple of passes off Lincoln Schoenhardt, who has been fairly quiet as far as from a broadcasting standpoint this season. You still have Max Schmitz making a big contribution tonight, but a couple of guys, the linebackers who have really been coming on, the younger of the two of the four linebackers total. You've got Hudson Schaefer, Lincoln Schoenhardt, who are seniors. You've got Will Eilers, a sophomore. He's been coming on, but a guy who still seems to be in the mix on a lot of run stoppages, especially. That's Sam Larson, the 195-pound junior, and he was in there making plays once again tonight. Sam Larson, to the agreement of head coach Steve Steele after our post-game conversation, will be tonight's player of the game. That's sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Their name is on the t-shirt. Also, River 92.7 Sports that is going in Sam Larson's direction. Tonight's player of the game as the Governors defeat the Douglas Patriots 49-0. So here's what the scores look like in Class 11 AA. And again, if Steve Steele's prognostications are correct, we may see the T area Titans coming here as T starts the night as a 4 seed. But that would mean they would probably be a 6 seed coming in with the loss to Sioux Falls, Washington, 27-7. Now they're at halftime. Aberdeen Central and Watertown in Aberdeen are tied. In fact, it is scoreless. No score yet. Watertown is the 5 seed, and I really thought that was a game that could go either way. If Watertown loses, then that probably would, that might drop Watertown to a 6 seed and keep T area as a 5 seed. So we'll see how things go there. Meanwhile, as I just lost my scores here, I'm going to have to get them back. But Spearfish and Sturgis was another big game going on this evening. And right now, Sturgis at halftime leads on their home field 13-7. They're a tougher team at home than they are on the road in that Northern Hills rivalry where anything can happen. If Sturgis defeats Spearfish, they would move up, and you might see Sturgis here as a 6 seed. Who knows? Yankton is defeating Mitchell 34-0. That is expected to continue. And again, with Huron and Brookings, still with that one other game, it's Brookings 8-6 at halftime. And that one could shake things up more than anything. If Huron should fall tonight, perhaps they might fall to number 3. Who knows? That could be the real wild card, and we could have a real shake-up depending on how Huron and Brookings, Sturgis, Spearfish, and that Watertown-Aberdeen games go the rest of this evening. So I guess we'll just wait and find out tomorrow where, or I should say whom, the Governors will be playing here. And it's next Thursday night. The Govs will host, and I think it's going to be at 6 o'clock rather than 7 o'clock. 5:25 pregame, if that's the case. Postseason starts next week for Pierre Governor football as they begin their trek for a 9th straight trip to the Dakota Dome as they want to get back what they feel is rightfully theirs. That's the Empire. It's the Empire trying to strike back here. Governor volleyball coming up, by the way, in the next couple of days. Tomorrow the Govs go to the number 2 ranked O'Gorman Knights. We'll have a pregame at about 6 o'clock, 6:15 here on River 92.7, and a first serve scheduled for 6:30 from O'Gorman High Gym. And then the Governors are here on Saturday afternoon. It starts at about 10 o'clock, 10:30. The varsity game starts at 1 o'clock when the Governors host Aberdeen Central. 12:30 with a pregame. We'll have that one for you here on River 92.7 as well. Best of luck to the state tournament going competitive cheer and dance teams as they head to Watertown on Saturday, and also to the state cross-country teams that'll go to the state meet at Huron on Saturday as well. Everything else in the fall sports season is done as of now. Before we go, I do want to check up on other scores that are going on in Central South Dakota. Sully Buttes leading Hitchcock Tulare at the end of 3, 34-0. Justin Coward has that call on KGFX AM if you'd like to hear the rest of that one. Harriet Selby 20-0 over Canastota with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Out west, Kadoka area trying to handle Corsica Stickney right now. The Jaguars have a 24-20 lead. That's Corsica Stickney leading Kadoka area. Faulkton having no trouble with Burke 54-16 as they lead in the first round in the 9-man ranks. Phillip on KPLO's page of drgnews.com is easily out in front of Esteline Hendricks 30-8. Lyman trailing Platte Geddes 28-14 just starting the second half, and Wall has already defeated Lemon McIntosh 55-0. Kimball Whitelake goes up to Britton Hecla, defeats the Braves 14-7 in 9AA. And Bonham leads Gregory 29-12. Also in 11B, Mount Vernon Plankinton has defeated Mobridge Pollock 40-12, and Winter hangs on and hands Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central their first loss of the season. But Winter, don't count them out when they go to the postseason. It hasn't been a typical year for the Warriors, but they do win tonight, 20-12. Over the Blackhawks, and Wagner leading Chamberlain 27-0 at the half. Matt Thorson's West Central Trojans leading at Vermilion 27-10 at halftime. 11 AAA scores. O'Gorman beats Roosevelt tonight 42-9. Jefferson defeats Brandon Valley, number 1 Brandon Valley 24-21. So that'll shake things up in 11 AAA. Sioux Falls Lincoln beating Harrisburg right now, still in the second quarter. That's already 28-21, and Rapid City Central leading Stevens out west 19-0. Once again, Governors will host a playoff game next Thursday night. Hope you can join us for that one here from Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. For Douglas fans who are heading back, for anybody on the road, remember the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being part of a team, and they remind us all to text or drive. There is no and buckle up too. You've got some place to be. From the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Watch this one over at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page. Thanks to Brian Menning and Live Ticket for doing the live stream, for John Calda at side, and for William Wilson running the show in studio. I'm Brian Oakland. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard tonight: the Governors finish a regular season at 6-3, 49-0, defeating the Douglas Patriots. We'll talk to you again from O'Gorman High for high school volleyball tomorrow here on your official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Good evening, everybody.
Livelihood.